श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So ji, I'm done with
Thank
the
you.
kirtan.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very sweet. Like you.
Thank you so much, Aditya Bro, for doing that wonderful kirtan. Yeah, it is Snan Yatra, Rath Yatra period going on, so it was very nice to remember Jagannath ji. So we'll move on to the next uh, part of our troopers call, that is the Bhagavatam class. So today's speaker is Keshav Gopal Prabhu, and we are going to cover the verse Bhagavatam 1.8.18. So, Project, is it possible for you to share your screen, Keshav Gopal
Okay,
Prabhu?
Prabhu. Yeah, sure. I will share my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. You are loud and clear.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Gopi Mandala Mataji has volunteered to read the translation and the purport. The shloka translation and purport.
See, what I will do is in the class, I will read the
Yes.
translation and the purport myself while explaining the
Okay.
purport and elaborating on those points. So I think it will cover
Okay.
within the class.
Sure. That
Is
sounds
it okay?
wonderful. No problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
Over to you. Thank you so much.
I hope you can see the screen also.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. We can see the screen.
Okay. Thank you.
Prabhu, yeah.
Okay. So Hare Krishna, everyone, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak in the IDS Troopers Meet and do some service by way of speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam. The verse allocated to me is the 18th verse of the 8th chapter of the first canto, and let us see what this verse tells us. First of all, we'll do a brief Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Yeah. So first of all, we'll look at the Sanskrit verse. So this is the first verse of Queen Kunti's prayer. It starts from the 18th verse and goes all the way up to somewhere like 42nd verse or so. Now we will recite this verse, look at the various meanings of various lines in this verse. So the verse goes like this. Kuntyovacha Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakritehi Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravasthitam. So now we will look at the meaning of individual lines. You can divide the verse into two parts. As you can see on the screen, it has been divided into red and green. So the first line is red. So what does it say? Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakritehe Param. So Namaste is actually offering obeisances to the Lord. So Mother Kunti is offering her pranams to the Lord. So you can see, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances. So that is Namaste. Purusham. Purusham is referring to a personality. You are a personality. And why she is referring her to a personality, you will see the discussion going on in the various purports given by the acharyas. So we will leave it to that. So you, because you are original personality. Original personality. So where does this word original comes from? Tva adyam. Adyam. So the word adyam comes from the word adi in Sanskrit. Adi means the first one. Like we have this word called anadi. Anadi means beginningless. But the word adi means the first one, where it begins. So you can say Namaste obeisances. Purusham means you are a personality. Tva means referring to Krishna, you. Adyam meaning you are the original personality. You are the first one. And then Ishwaram. Ishwaram is referring here to that you are the controller. You are the controller. Then Prakritehe Param. Param means beyond, and Prakritehe is referring to the material world. So you can see here, and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. So this is a prayer, and prayers are really important verses in any text, specifically Srimad Bhagavatam, because these are the realizations of the devotees, and these realizations are something like the knowledge given by the Lord himself in the heart of these devotees, like we hear in the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, like where Tene Brahma Hriday Adi Kavaye. So how the Lord gives this knowledge through the heart. So these knowledge nuggets have been given by the Lord himself to his pure devotees. And how does the Lord give this knowledge to the devotees? Through the heart. So now when the devotees are reciting these prayers, so this knowledge what the Lord gives to the devotee actually comes out in the form of the prayers. And that is what you can see, the emotions of Queen Kunti are coming out through her heart. And why these emotions are coming out, we will see that in a while. But first of all, you can see there are number of qualities of the Lord being mentioned here, that you are the original personality, you are unaffected by the qualities of the material world, and so on. So this sequence of narration of the Lord's qualities continues to the next line. And how does it go? She says, Alakshyam sarva bhutanam antar bahiravasthitam. Alakshyam. Alakshyam means you are invisible to all. Alakshyam means you are invisible to all. You are nobody understands you. Nobody can conceive you. Nobody can perceive you. Alakshyam. You are a kind of a puzzle to everyone. So alakshyam. That is what is referred to in the second line. Then more qualities. Alakshyam sarva bhutanam. So alakshyam has been mentioned with together with sarva bhutanam. Sarva bhutanam means to all the living entities. You are invisible to all the living entities. And then antar bahir avasthitam. So again, more qualities of the Lord through the prayers of Queen Kunti. Antar bahir avasthitam. You are existing both within and without everything. Now this can be interpreted in couple of ways, several ways. You are existing both within and without everything. So that explanation, what does it mean, we will leave to when we are going to discuss the purport. So for this purpose of this class, I have taken two purports. First of all, I have taken the purport written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and then I have taken the purport by Srila Prabhupada. And if you analyze both of these purports closely, you will see that both the purports are saying more or less the same thing. However, you will notice there is a difference of presentation in both the acharyas. While Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has used a very conversational style of presenting the purport, although he is not explicitly mentioning these qualities, but the way he has put up the conversation, the reader is feel very excited about reading that purport, and the way he has presented the purport, the message becomes very clear. It is in the form of question answer, although there is no question answer going on between the Lord and Queen Kunti, but it comes out like that. But Srila Prabhupada has chosen to present a commentary which is a little more maybe in elaborating the points and so on. So we will see both these purports, and you will find the difference for yourself. But before we go into the matter of discussion of the purports, first of all, it is very important to understand in what context, where in Srimad Bhagavatam, where is the storyline right now, and why this verse has been being spoken by Queen Kunti. What inspired Queen Kunti to speak this verse? So there is a little background to it. So since we are already in first canto, we will do a little recap of how the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam has been right from chapter 1. We will not go into a lot of detail, but we will cover some basic things what we see here. So Srimad Bhagavatam starts with 6 questions by sages of Naimisharanya. That is something which is the subject matter of chapter 1. Then these 6 questions are answered in chapter 2 and in chapter 3. By who? By Shri Suta Goswami. Now this set of questions have been asked and have been answered. So one portion complete. Now after this, there comes next 3 questions by Shaunak Rishi. Who is Shaunak Rishi? Shaunak Rishi is the leader of the sages who have assembled in the Naimisharanya. So he is the leader. On behalf of the assembly, he further puts up 3 more questions to Suta Goswami. And what are these 3 questions? The very first question is about, please tell us about the history of Srimad Bhagavatam. How and what inspired Ved Vyas to write Srimad Bhagavatam? Then the second question is about, please also tell us about Parikshit Maharaj's birth and activities. The third question is about, how did the meeting between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami happen? So these were the 3 questions. So the question number 1, was answered by Sud Goswami in chapter number 4, 5, 6, and in the beginning of chapter number 7. So what about history of Srimad Bhagavatam? So he narrates all the story about Vyasdev's depression, and then Narad Muni coming to his Ved Vyas ashram and inspiring him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is kind of completed by the time chapter 7, mid of chapter 7, this is completed. And then from there, Sud Goswami starts to answer Parikshit Maharaj's birth and activities. Now, in order to answer Parikshit Maharaj's birth and activities, Sud Goswami starts narrating the story of Ashwathama's punishment. Now, why Sud Goswami is answering or starting narrating the story of Ashwathama's punishment? Because Ashwathama killed the 5 sons of Pandavas, and in order to teach lesson to Ashwathama, Arjuna actually and all the Pandavas captures Ashwathama and gives him a punishment. What punishment was given? He was kind of insulted. His gem from the forehead was taken away, and he was left like that to wander. He was not killed, but he was left like that. Then, because Ashwathama was insulted, he, out of anger, released Brahmastra, where he released Brahmastra to the targeting the womb of Uttara. And why? Because Uttara was pregnant with Maharaj Parikshit, and he was the only descendant of Pandava's dynasty, Kuru dynasty. So Ashwathama had this malintention to wipe out the dynasty of Pandavas. So he thought that by killing Parikshit, who is in the womb of his mother Uttara, he will do that. But Lord Krishna was the protector, and he immediately takes charge of the situation and protects Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara by entering into the womb of Uttara. Now, this is the context, and I gave you the background. But now what happens? Why this prayer by Queen Kunti? Queen Kunti is standing there. What is going on is that Lord Krishna is about to depart from Hastinapur, and while this is going on, Uttara comes running, saying that, "Oh Lord, please protect me. Some weapon is coming and going to kill my son in my womb. Please protect me." So all the relatives, all the Hastinapur Vasis were present there. And while this was going on, Lord actually enters into the womb of Uttara and protects Parikshit Maharaj. Queen Kunti is observing all this. Queen Kunti is already a devotee of Lord Krishna. Not only a devotee, she is actually in a motherly position. She already has experienced firsthand all the benedictions, all the merciful actions that Lord Krishna has done towards Queen Kunti throughout the exile of the Pandavas, and so many of these events were there in the life of Mother Kunti, where she saw that how Lord Krishna has protected not only her, but her sons Pandavas also. So she is already having this feeling of immense gratitude towards the Lord. She is having that emotion. But that emotion at the moment is hiding somewhere in the background. However, when she once again sees the mercy of the Lord coming in the form of protection of his grandchild Parikshit, that emotion actually comes out from the background and takes the shape of a poetry and takes a shape of a prayer. And this is the outburst of her emotions that actually comes out in the form of very, very beautiful prayers. So what we are going to discuss is the very first verse of that prayer. This is what the 18th verse is about. And now we will see how beautifully the acharyas have presented these prayers in the form of the purports that they are giving. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, first of all, opens up his purport with this paragraph. So I will read this. Understanding everything that Krishna has done recently, Kunti was unable to tolerate the agitation caused by the great respect that arose in her heart. Thus she began praising Krishna. So like you see, if you have read this book, Bhaktir Samrat Sindhu, we understand about how Bhav Bhakti is all about. So Bhav Bhakti is about when Lord actually provides this Antaranga Shakti into the heart of the devotee, the bhava. And this bhava makes the heart very, very soft. So what does this softness of the heart means? Softness of the heart means that the moment the devotee thinks about Krishna, or there is some stimulation to think about Krishna, the heart becomes really, really very soft, and the emotions actually comes out from the heart of the devotee. So that is something what is going on in the heart of Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti. And thus she began praising Krishna. She cannot control these emotions. They are just like pouring out through the form of a prayer. And in the form of this prayer, when the Lord gives this Antaranga Shakti to the heart of the devotee, so two things happen. One thing is there's a lot of ananda, param ananda. And the second thing happens is the Lord also provides the knowledge about himself to the devotee. So Queen Kunti is not only speaking about the Lord in her prayers just by theoretical knowledge. Actually, this is well realized knowledge of the Lord, which has been provided by the Lord by the form of the agency of Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. So this is something like bhava or prema, whatever you may call it. This is what is coming out from the heart of Mother Kunti. And now you can see how beautifully Acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, presents this purport in a very conversational style. So here Queen Kunti is speaking that Purusham, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam. Namasya Purusham Tvadyam. So what does it mean? Namasya Purusham Tvadyam means that you are the original personality of God, Godhead. Namasyam, you are the original personality. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is presenting in a form of a conversation. So here Lord Krishna is kind of fictitiously responding to Queen Kunti. So this is something, a literary technique which Vishwanath Chakravarti has employed here in the purport, where Lord Krishna is speaking, but I am your nephew. I am not Adi Purusha. So why are you offering me respects? You are elder to me. You are my auntie. You are my bua. I am your nephew. I am no Purusham Adyam. I am no original personality. So why are you offering me respects? Now, in order to respond to this, Queen Kunti says, but you are Supreme Lord, Purusham, as she mentioned in this verse. Then in response to this, Lord Krishna again retaliates. Again he puts some counter argument. What does he say? Of course, I am a Purusha. I am a man. There is no doubt about it. So Queen Kunti is saying Purusha, Adi Purusha, that your original personality, but Lord Krishna is kind of presenting a counter argument, not considering Purusha to be an original personality, but he's saying that I'm simply just like any other Purusha, any other living entity, any other man. There's no doubt about it. Then Queen Kunti clarifies, no, you are the first one. Adyam. Adyam means the first one. You are no ordinary Purusha. You are the first Purusha. You are the Adi Purusha. Like in every country, we have the first citizen. The president of the country actually is the first citizen of the country. Similarly, Queen Kunti clarifies, you are no ordinary Purusha. You are the first Purusha. You are the Adi Purusha. So Lord Krishna once again puts a counter argument. Well, all bodies come and go. All souls are original, Adya. So he's twisting the argument that Mother Kunti is giving. Krishna is twisting that argument, saying that, so what's special about it? Everyone is beginning, everyone is original, like every living entity is original. All bodies come and go, everyone is original. Then again, no, you are actually supreme. You are Ishvara. You are the controller. You are the supreme controller. But again, Krishna once again puts counter argument. So what a big deal. Oh, in Swarga, Indra and the moon god and the earth kings are all controllers. They are all Ishwaras. They are controllers in some form of other. But then Queen Kunti once again clarifies, but you are superior to Prakriti. So Swarga and moon god, earthly kings, they are all part of Prakriti. They are all part of material manifestation. So Queen Kunti gives a counter argument. a counter argument, but you are superior to Prakriti. So like she says, Prakrite, just one second. Alaksham sarva bhutanam antar bahir avasthitam. Yeah, in the first line she says, Ishwaraha prakritehe param. So you are superior to Prakriti. You are no ordinary superior controller. You are not subject to any material manifestation. You are actually superior to material manifestation. That is what I'm trying to say. Then Krishna once again puts a counter argument. Am I the Purusha within that? Are you trying to say I am the Paramatma? Then Queen Kunti says no. Not only that, but actually you are alakshyam. You are imperceptible. You are alaksham. The Paramatma is subject to revelation by use of intelligence and other means. So you are not Paramatma. Paramatma actually is achievable, is understandable. The yogis can understand the Paramatma by controlling their mind, by controlling their intelligence and so many other means. But you are not Paramatma, you are imperceptible, you are alaksham. So like that, you can see how beautifully Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in the form of a very conversational style, he's bringing out different aspects of the Lord through a very nice, very jovial conversational style. So the conversation actually doesn't end here. Further, the purport ends by these two lines. So the first line by which the purport ends is, am I the imperceptible Brahman? So in the previous line, Queen Kunti is saying you are imperceptible. Imperceptible means it could be understood like maybe without having any form, without having any qualities and so on. Although Queen Kunti is trying to say alaksham, but Lord Krishna is trying to understand it in a different way. So he's saying, am I the imperceptible Brahman? Then Queen Kunti responds to this argument of Lord Krishna, no, you are situated internally and externally. Now this is something which becomes a little puzzling, what actually she's trying to say. So the purport for this verse ends here by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. However, the point or the confusion or the puzzle that remains at the end of the purport is kind of answered in the beginning of the next purport. So in the beginning of the next purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, since internally you protected the child in the womb of Uttara and externally you protect us by being near us, should I understand that you are all pervading? I do not know. This is expressed in this verse. So connecting the previous verse, this prayer in the verse number 18, she speaks the 19th verse. So what does she say in the 19th verse? What do you mean by imperceptible? She clarifies in this verse. What clarification she gives? You are covered by curtain, Javanika of Maya. So when Queen Kunti is saying that you are imperceptible, Lord Krishna is understanding that, oh, am I Brahman? Am I imperceptible because I am Brahman? So Queen Kunti clarifies that doubt by speaking the next verse where she says that you are covered by Maya. So what is she trying to say? That you are covered by Maya, that is why people are not able to understand you. Although you are present in person before me, although you are present inside the people's heart, but people cannot understand you because they are covered by Maya. So that is what she is trying to say, that you are imperceptible. So you can see how beautifully by using this literary device of conversation, question and answer, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur brings out a beautiful way the special qualities of the Lord. Now, what are the special qualities of the Lord? As you can see, Queen Kunti is saying that you are controller, you are beyond Prakriti, you are Alakshyam, you are Adi Purusha, and so on. But these qualities have been brought out in a very nice, beautiful conversational style. So now we will look at the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada ji also has given a very similar understanding of the purport, but he has used a more explanatory style rather than the conversational style of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we will read this one by one. Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Although he was playing the part of her nephew, Such an enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obeisances unto her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as the original Purusha, beyond the material cosmos. So you see that this point was covered by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in that conversation where Queen Kunti is saying that you are the original Purusha, but the Lord Krishna is trying to say, I am a simple ordinary Purusha, like that. So this is the point what Prabhupada brings out here in the first paragraph. Although all living entities are also transcendental, they are neither original nor infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of material nature, but the Lord is never like that. So another distinction mentioned here, similar what was covered already in the previous commentary, that Lord is beyond material nature, but living entities are under the subject of material nature. And again, there is a verse quoted from the Vedas, Prabhupada's favorite, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. So there is only one person who is eternal and who is controlling the others. So that is the simple brief meaning of this Nityo Nityanam. Among the eternals, there is one eternal, and among all conscious beings, there is one conscious being who is actually fulfilling the desires of everyone else. And that is what you are. So Prabhupada is giving quotation here. Then again, he is addressed as Ishvara, controller. The living entities or the demigods like Chandra and Surya are also to some extent Ishvara, but none of them is the supreme Ishvara. Ishwaram Param, that is what in the verse is there, or the ultimate controller. So Krishna is the Parameshwara. So again the same point, but Prabhupada is explaining in a little more explanatory style. Then the rest of the purport is here in this slide. He is both within and without. Although he is present before Srimati Kunti as her nephew, he was also within her and everyone else. So in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Lord Krishna gives this, Lord Krishna mentions that I am situated in everyone's heart, and due to me, remembrance, forgetfulness comes. Though all the Vedas, I am to be known, but I am the compiler of the Vedas. So Srila Prabhupada is supporting this argument by presenting some verses from Bhagavad Gita. So then Queen Kunti affirms that Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still invisible. The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Now here, Alaksham, that last part in the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport, Alaksham, that is coming here in Prabhupada's purport. Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Krishna was present before her, yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Ashwathama's Brahmastra. Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Sri Krishna is all-pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserves the right of not being exposed to the person who are not surrendered souls. This checking curtain is called the Maya energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited vision of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follows. So now Prabhupada will explain these points in the purport to the next verse. So the idea here is to differentiate in the purport. Both the acharyas have brought out the distinction between the characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and an ordinary living entity. Like that, Prabhupada has presented in a more explanatory style. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given a little more conversational style, which brings a little special beauty to the purport. So this is all for the time being. All glories to Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Any questions, comments? Most welcome.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that wonderful class. Any realizations anyone would like to speak? Yes, Ramai Manohar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this
Hare Krishna,
enlightening
Prabhu.
class, and so wonderfully bringing out the two different commentaries and explaining them so nicely, point by point. So,
Thank you.
Prabhuji, I have something to ask. In in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan, towards the end, he says that the words spoken by Dhritarashtra and others in the Gita were written by Vedavyas to create continuity in the work. However, those words also become equivalent to the Lord's words, just as objects falling in a salt mine become salty. So basically says that it may not be that as the verses are put, the Lord spoke them like that, as it is. So what I want to know is that many a times we see in different acharyas commentaries, like in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, or maybe in Sridhar Swami's commentary, or very much in Sri Hari Surya's commentary, that they are bringing out the in between meanings of the lines. Like just now we saw that one word is being spoken, and then they are putting in that Krishna said this thing, and then
Correct.
another word for that word, that is the reply of Kunti for that particular question which Krishna put. So
Right.
I really want to know, is that like uh, is that verse a full the full verse, is that uh, completely spoken by Kunti Devi in a continuity, or is that like Vasudev has brought out different like points from this conversation, like there was a conversation between Krishna and Kunti like this, and he brought out different words and put them together in a verse? This is the doubt which I've always had in my mind.
Yeah. So the point, Prabhuji, is that Lord Krishna actually, when these commentaries are being written, these are not written by some ordinary people. These are written by people who are self-realized. So when we talk about self-realized, we are talking of a very special status of these devotees, where the intelligence they have of writing these verses actually comes from the Lord himself. So although it might appear to us maybe that the conversation that is going on between Lord Krishna and Kunti Devi, maybe Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has used a kind of a literary device to bring out the message in a way of a conversation. It may not necessarily be that the conversation actually happened between Queen Kunti and Lord Krishna, but the message or the point that he's trying to bring out is something what we need to focus. And that's where we should be very clear that there should not be any I would say uh, uh, need for any correction or any problem or any deviation on what the characteristics of the Lord, or what is the difference between the characteristics of the Lord and the devotee. So that way it should be quite clear, because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and like our Prabhupada, they are all self-realized soul. Their knowledge is not their knowledge. Actually, their knowledge has been received in the heart through the Lord himself. So that is why, because they have received this knowledge directly from the Lord, they are so emphatic, they are so clear, they are so confident on what they are saying, what they are writing, and so on. So short answer is that although the purport written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is in a form of a literary device, but the message that it brings out is something which we need to be fully confident about and have no doubts about, that the characteristics difference between the Jiva and the Supreme Lord are actually like that. Maybe it has been presented by way of a literary device. So that is how I would like to write it. Or I would like to respond to it. Yeah. Any better response? Maybe we have other devotees who can share their realization.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Actually, this is the main thing. Like whether it's a literary device or that is a samadhi, like it's within the samadhi, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is seeing that is the main confusion.
Yeah.
But in any case, the main point is that we
Yeah.
have to take the essence.
Yeah. I am not elevated to that extent that I can see in my in that kind of a samadhi position what actually he meant. I can only make some guess here. Yeah.
Anyone
Okay.
else
I
would
think.
like to
Yeah.
ask any questions or share their realizations? Okay. Um, Prabhuji, I had one small question. If
Yes, Prabhu.
you would like to answer, I have heard this in lectures that when like Queen Kunti, she has a conversation with the Lord, so she always prays to the Lord that please keep me in distress so that I can always remember you. Of course, like sometimes we are forced to be in some circumstances in our lives where we are in distress, and for that moment, for us, Shastra becomes very easy to understand. We can see the futility of material world. We can see that it is like there is no happiness over here, but then it is a very temporary phase, and then again there is something which jolly happens, and life goes on, and then again we are drowned in the ocean of Maya. So
Mhm.
how can we be consistent in line with the Shastra and see that from the vision, or not copying but following the anugatya of Queen Kunti?
See, the simple answer is association of devotees, specifically the spiritual master, through the through his words, through his instructions, through his books. So that is the antidote to our uh, our vulnerability to material attacks. So that is how we can protect ourselves. So that is the simple answer. In the association, actually, we will have Shravanam Kirtanam, and so I'm putting association even above Shravan and Kirtanam, because once you have the association, the Shravanam Kirtanam is ensured. Shravanam Kirtanam should be only about the subject matter of the Lord. That is actually qualifies in the definition of Shravanam Kirtanam. But the one line or one word simple answer is association of devotees, specifically the spiritual master. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Um, if anyone does not have any questions, I would like to request if we could move on to the next part of our troopers call. Govind Prabhuji, are you available now?
Yes.
Okay. Exactly. So devotees, as you all might be knowing, we had our Sadhu Sanga retreat recently. Gurudev was there in the US, and then from Sadhu Sanga retreat, Gurudev went to Laguna Beach, and then Gurudev went to Silicon Valley, and Gurudev gave a very fantastic lecture of Dahi Chada in Silicon Valley. So Govind Charan Prabhu and Mataji have like kindly agreed to share some of their realizations of the Sadhu Sanga retreat and all the time that they spent with Gurudev. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Over to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Indradumna Swaminita Namane Namo Prabhupada Priyadasaya Jagannath Yachananda Murte Bhakta Sukhaya Krishnotkertanena Nashinkena Rakshitaya Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhe Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. Thank you, Keshav Gopal Prabhu, for such a beautiful class that explains why the attendance is doubled overnight in the troopers group. Thank you all for joining. As Keshav Gopal Prabhu was speaking so eloquently, such a researched topic, but also in such a simple manner. I was thinking of Kunti's prayer that comes later on in the chapter, where she says, you are understood only by great munis. What can we ordinary people know about you? That she speaks in such humility, even though she's such an exalted devotee. So I was thinking about that verse that Keshav Gopal Prabhu is so learned, yet he was presenting in such a simple manner because he is a very simple person. The simplicity, Saralata, is a wonderful quality of a devotee, and We hope it rubs in my consciousness a little bit by association with you, Prabhu. Thank you again.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I simply repeated the words of the Acharyas. And that's, I think, the glories to the Acharyas and our Gurujanas and our senior Vaishnavas. Thank you very much for your blessings. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, yeah, Vijayanashinga Prabhu and Panchajanya Prabhu wanted us to share some of our realizations from the Sadhu Sanga retreat this year. For those of you who may not know the background, let me start with a little very brief background. So Srila Gurudev has been traveling in the US for several years. We met him in 2002, and 1 year prior to that, from 2001, he has been traveling. He was already, by that time, he was like 50. He was in his 50s by then. So he did that for like almost 10 years, 2001 to 2010. Every year he would travel across the country, covering 3 time zones in such a rapid pace, like every 2-3 days in each place. And he was printing this Diary of a Traveling Monk books. So his publisher, Torchlight Publishing, would print it only in certain quantities, like 1,000, 2,000, like that. So in order for them for it to make cost effective for them, they have to print so much, which means those books have to be distributed. Only then the diaries can be printed again. So Gurudev had this enormous pressure to distribute those books. So he would visit many of these temples, give them association, and also distribute these books across the country. And then that's why it has to be a packed schedule for 2 months, because after that he will go to the Polish tour. So he did that for like 10 years. And one of the years, I think in 2010, we had to cancel half of his flights because he was 60 by then. He was getting older, and but he was trying to keep up the same pace, and being such a frequent traveler for so many years, the body ages after some time. It shows sign of aging, and so he couldn't handle it. So we were very disappointed that half the disciples did not get the chance to meet Gurudev in their cities. And so after that, when the time came to plan for the next year in 2011, we thought we don't want to do the same hectic packed schedule and have Gurudev travel everywhere. And then we thought, how about instead of Gurudev traveling everywhere, we disciples travel and meet him in one place. So that's how the first. So, and then this was, since Gurudev was always in US and around the April-May time frame. So we thought, and this is his Vyasa Puja, so we thought we'll do it as his Vyasa Puja, so there's more incentive for disciples to come, and then we can have nice association of Gurudevs. So Gurudev doesn't have to travel everywhere. And then it started like that, and we picked Dallas as a central location because it's central to US across all time zones. And Gurudev always liked his god brothers, so he invited Giriraj Maharaj, invited Badahari Prabhu for kirtans, and then Madhava Prabhu came for the kirtans, like that. So we just did it as a Vyasa Puja, and Gurudev was very astonished to see that so many of the local devotees were so enthusiastic in participating in all these programs. Generally, for a Guru's Vyasa Puja, you would expect only the disciples to show up, but then probably we were only like 50, 60 disciples at that time, but the locals were like twice, thrice our number. And so Gurudev really appreciated the kirtan mood that was there. And then he also noticed one problem, that we were all traveling from one place to another place. As you know, when we have the book tour in your cities, one program is in north, one program is in south, one program is in the east. So to give association for different bhakti vrikshas and different local communities there. So whole day we kept traveling we kept losing, and then helping people with addresses, cooking the prasadam at one place, bringing it to another place. So much commotion was there. So Gurudev noticed that we have been having only 2-3 kirtans in a day, even though there is so much, so many people and so much time is there. And then he told, why don't you find a retreat center for the next year, and then so that we can all be in one place. We don't have to travel as much back and forth. So we could just rent that place and then do all our program there. And that's how we picked a retreat center in the next year, 2012. And then we had almost 300 devotees join that time. And then we asked Gurudev for a name for the festival, and he called it Sadhu Sanga. So that's how it was born. This was in 2012 was the first Sadhu Sangha we did. And so it's all, you can see, Gurudev's brainchild, his vision, his direction. For the very first Sadhu Sangha, at that time, our budget was very, very limited. So we also have to make sure that the Polish tour happens and all that. So we were, particularly Rasika was very particular about, the funds and everything. And Gurudev said, let's invite Madhava from Switzerland. Like, we weren't, ready to pay any international tickets at that time. So we thought, that's too much, Gurudev. We were normally Gurudev would always do things in a consultation mode. Even though he's our Guru, he never says that I am the Guru, because of that you do it. But very rarely he has to do that if we don't listen. So we were not convinced that we can recover the money by registrations or something at that time. So he told Rasika, you need to trust me on this one. I've done festivals for 40 years. I know how to do festivals. So we should invite him, because we need to have proper kirtans. And then we did end up inviting Madhava Prabhu. Now 14 years later, 2 years we did not have Sadhu Sangha in between due to COVID. Now 14 years later, if I look back, you can see how Gurudev's vision was perfect. Now 14 years later, now we are inviting even the accompaniments for some of the kirtaniyas from Australia and India and other places. And in fact, one of the cooks, one of the helpers for the cooks came from Australia this time. So it's like that. The festival has expanded so much, but at that time we did not, see the potential in it. And that's the beauty of Srila Gurudev, is that he's a visionary. He thinks big and bold, and sometimes we drag our feet to catch up with him. So, but he still works with us and tolerates us and waits for us to patiently have faith in him and his instructions. So so that's our evolution of that. Afterwards, so for 2 years we did it in that retreat center. It grew from 300 to 700, and then next year we outgrew. It's like the Matsya Avatar. We outgrew the capacity of that retreat center. So we went to another place, which one of our God brothers, Ram Vijay Prabhu, found. This was Art of Living's retreat center. It was in a beautiful place in the mountains and Blue Ridge Mountains in the East Coast. And because of its location, it was so convenient for so many local devotees to attend. So in 1 year, we just doubled the attendance from 700 to 1400. At the time also, it was a huge expense to commit, because the thing is, in order to do the event in May, we need to assign the registrations and all the things by November, December of the previous year. So when we sign up for these, it's all based on contract. We need to take up so many rooms, and if we don't, then we have to pay penalty, or we have to pay for the rooms anyway, whether we use it or not. So because of that, we are always in anxiety whether we'll fill up or not, what should be the registration fee. If you, yeah, one thing is to just increase the registration fee so that you can pay for it comfortably, but then you won't be able to actually make it affordable for devotees, because of the less devotees will come. If you keep it too low, you'll get more devotees, but then you can't break even with your cost. So it's always like there is an element of faith involved in it, how many devotees we can expect. And then to our surprise, again, in retrospect, we can see everything is arranged by Mahaprabhu and Krishna. We just are like instruments, but at that time we weren't aware of that. We were thinking we are the doers, and then trying so hard to make things happen. And then this attendance doubled, and then we realized, only after that we realized why it happened, because that place was central to so many cities in the northeast US, and that really helped. And then for several years we went, for 6 years we did there, from 1400 to 2000. The attendance grew. We almost went to 2200 some point. And then Gurudev liked that place so much, and but the management of that place, they were like they realized that we are coming there year after year, so they kept increasing the prices every year. And we were so uh, dissatisfied with that. We always wanted to change that place, but Gurudev always kept, no, you have to keep it in that place. He said, Gurudev, they are like cheating us, they are like exploiting us. He said, doesn't matter. Even if you pay twice the price, I want to do it there. So our hands were completely tied. So because if you walk away 1 year, then you think they will reduce the prices next year. So that was our strategy. But Gurudev said, no, like just keep the same place, because you're not going to get anything better anywhere. And then we were like pretty much, like from all the devotees were happy, but we from the management viewpoint weren't too happy with their thing. Even though the bliss of the event was there, just from a purely from a organizational perspective, we weren't, thinking like that. And then lucky for us, COVID came, and then we couldn't do for 2 years, and then we had to change to another venue, and we picked outdoor venue in 2022 in Utah, because that was the only venue that was available, and we decided it within a short time, like 2-3 months, just to not miss that year. And that experience really kind of enabled us to show that we can do the retreat anywhere. So we were finally able to convince Srila Gurudev that we were too big for that place also, and then we have other ways of getting people also. And then the year after, one of our friends, he pushed us so much to have the event in Dallas. So at that time we were still thinking of going back to this place, or like doing something like more like a scenic and natural place. But that was like the Kala Chanji's 50th anniversary, so that was a reason to do it there. And then we tried a new model where we had everybody in a like a regular Marriott hotel. They had huge Kirtan hall, and it was very clean and bright, and pretty much like you can say it's in the mode of goodness from the ambience perspective. And then we did that, and that was like a really a step up. And to our surprise, we got almost like 3,000 devotees. So that's when we realized, even though when we do it, like in a scenic place, there are more like the ambience is good, but then in a city like that, more people are able to come for a day or two, even if they cannot afford the accommodation. So it enabled us to, for the first time, to break the 3,000 mark in attendance. And so the next year also we continued there, which is last year. And for 2 years we did there. And then we kind of also grew out of that place. It was too small for us. So, and then we also wanted to kind of move around a little bit in the country, so that, again, same thing. If devotees think that, it's happening every year, they think, okay, I'll skip this year, I'll go next year. Sometimes when things are available easily, we take it for granted, so we don't realize the value. And also, another motivation is to serve different populations of devotees in the country. So it takes a lot of effort for especially our kitchen team, to figure out everything every year in a new place, but then it benefits the devotees. So one of the things we were considering this year was to go back to East Coast, because we haven't been there in like 6 years since COVID. And so again, we picked this place in Orlando this year. Again, it was like a huge leap of faith, because whatever budget we had for the entire festival, this year we had to practically double it, mainly for paying for the retreat center, because it's it's in a very beautiful location. And unlike where only 1,000 devotees could stay in the same place, now this year more than 3,000 devotees could stay under the one roof. And then the halls were like really huge, and we know Gurudev likes everything he has a certain class. So we knew when we saw this place that it would meet his class, but then it was completely out of budget, like twice the budget. So we thought and thought and thought, but when finally we made that, it's like, they say, err on the side of caution. So in this case, our caution was whatever places Gurudev. It's always better to be cautious on that principle than be cautious on the money side. So we said, somehow or other, Krishna will help us to like make it happen. And then we selected that place, and to our surprise, so many more devotees registered. And this year actually we ended with almost like 3,800 devotees attending. So for the it took us several years to get to the 2,000 mark, but then just in last 2 years we have pretty much doubled that. And this year also we doubled the number of Srila Prabhupada disciples that we were able to serve, because many Prabhupada disciples live in the Alachua community, which is only a couple of hours from Orlando area. So a lot of them attended, many of them, that was a highlight of this year's festival. And Gurudev particularly told us to really take care of them, because sometimes he said, sometimes as gurus, some of us get a lot of attention, but then these god brothers of mine, god sisters of mine, they have done equal contribution for Srila Prabhupada's movement, and nobody knows them, nobody kind of appreciates them, nobody recognizes them these days. And so they all live in some kind of in their own secluded community, and very little kind of going outside of their places. So he really wanted to serve them nicely, so we put up a nice team to provide extra hospitality to them. Many of them wouldn't even come for the festival. Gurudev wrote emails. He worked with the local temple presidents to beg them to invite them, and he said, we'll provide whatever you want. And then many cases we provided like extra Lakshmi and facilities for those devotees to be able to attend. So this year we had almost like 150 Prabhupada disciples attend the event. So, and many of them were seeing each other after like 40-50 years. So like some of these were like really, really emotional exchanges. One devotee, his named Shrikant Prabhu. He is based in Denver. I haven't met him in the past, but he came and thanked us for organizing this. And he was almost like in tears, seeing like all the love he was receiving. And then I told him, this is what you all sacrifice your lives for. It's because of your sacrifice that we are here today. And this is what, because they sacrificed their life as youth, for preserving this movement, because Prabhupada left when they were probably in their 20s and 30s at most. So they kept the movement for us last 50, 60 years, and then they have kept it alive, and our movement has gone through so much struggles and everything, but then they all have survived that. And um, it's not easy to have a completely foreign culture being preserved in a foreign soil for like this much time, right? So they've done way more than their share of serving Prabhupada and keeping the movement alive in all these years that we could all meet. So like that, there are so many sweet exchanges we had with those devotees. And yeah, Gurudev was very pleased with all the arrangements. And then we didn't quite like break even this year. And then we had to make announcement uh, like and then after that, so many devotees came and they gave a lot of ideas on how to break even and how to and many of them helped as well. And after that, we are finally pretty close to uh, break even for this. So that this whole experience this year particularly was an experience in building faith, in seeing the hands of Guru and Gauranga when we want to serve them. Again, that's why we need a spiritual master, because um, again, we know there's a lot of this controversy these days around Ritvik and all these things. So for us, it's fundamentally, it's all about guidance. Because unless you have that clear goal, which is what Gurudev wants, and clear guidance as to how to achieve that, then we never know what is right and what is wrong. We can keep speculating all day. We can go back and forth whether I should do this or that, this or that. There's no end to it. Nobody's going to give us a right answer. Nobody's going to say this is right, this is wrong. Nobody's going to do. We have to only work on the basis of that faith that we are doing this to please Srila Gurudev. And then that is the only thing that Krishna wants from us, because he is more than capable to provide us what we need. And he promises that in the Bhagavad Gita, that yoga kshemam vahamyaham. But we are the one that's slowing down the process. We are the one that's slowing our progress. We drag our feet. We don't believe in Guru. We don't believe in Krishna. We don't we don't take their word seriously. We don't take their desires seriously. We just take our own sweet time, thinking as if Krishna is dependent on our service. And then we think as if we are doing a charity to Krishna by surrendering or by doing anything devotional service. So we carry so much of this kind of the ego or the doership mentality. But this year's retreat showed how when we do things with the simple desire and faith, Krishna can do much more than our expectations. In fact, many of the devotees were very pleased with the arrangements. Actually, that was another aspect of this year's retreat. Was we were forced into many things that we did not want to do. For example, normally why the cost was double was because normally we serve all the prasadam ourselves, but this time, first of all, they said there's no way we can use their kitchen and cook our own prasadam. But somehow we convinced them, because for 17 years they have been running the hotel and nobody has cooked in the hotel themselves. So, but somehow they made an exception to us and made us cook. But then they said you can cook, but you cannot serve the prasadam, because then they lose the money on all that services that they provide. They said we have to charge you for setting up the banquet and all that. And so we were very forced to accept that. That's why the cost rose so much, almost like, you know, 200 to $300,000 went in just for their service to take the prasadam, set up the banquet table, and serve properly for the devotees. So, and then yeah, there were things like that. But then afterwards, after the event happened, more than the kirtans, this time the biggest um, appreciation of the devotees and their satisfaction was that there was no lines for the prasadam. So basically, we served almost like 4,000 devotees with absolutely no lines for anybody. So anybody, they just came, they whenever they wanted to eat prasadam, they would just walk in and have prasadam. So in the past, we tried to do that, but because Gurudev, he loves kirtan so much, he never wanted us to have even anybody miss a single kirtan. So because of that, we had like this huge pressure to serve everything in 1 hour so that we have minimal breaks in between the kirtans. So we did certain decisions based on that. But as the festival is becoming bigger and as the kirtaniyas are also more, so this year we had a little bit of overlap um, between Prashadam and Kirtans, and Gurudev was okay with that because we weren't reducing the Kirtans, we were increasing the Kirtans by adding one more slot but making it uh, kind of overlapping. That model really helped us. And again, originally we did not want to actually invite so many Kirtaniyas because again, we need to also serve serve them properly, and you know, like budget and all everything. But again, because we did it in Orlando next to the Alachua, where there are many local Kirtaniyas, we had to accommodate that also. So like that, everything was happening in a way we thought this is not what we want to do. Why is it happening like that? But then Krishna made all the, you can say, so-called imperfections in the thing, and he made it into a perfect solution to serve all the devotees so nicely without a single line this time. So that's why when devotees told us, you know, it was like really very nice. We also felt the same, that it went way beyond our own planning and our own expectation and our own efforts. So sometimes when you do things and you get the expected results, then you think you are the doer. This time we were clearly not having that illusion, because whatever we had planned for, um, Krishna made it, you know, like 1,000 times better. So we were clearly convinced that it's not our effort, it's clearly Krishna's grace that the festival went so smooth, and so many devotees were like so satisfied. That's the thing, you know, we hear in the Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly, Atma Suprasidati, the full satisfaction. And this is what Gurudev's formula is. He said to make a festival successful, you need only three things. He said first class accommodation, first class kirtans, and first class prasadam. So that's always his thing, you know, like same thing he does in Rishikesh. There we don't have to worry about even the accommodation for many people. So just kirtans and prasadam, right? Same thing wherever he does, anywhere he does. Even if you look at the Kartik Parikrama, we have, you know, yes, because the close devotees, there's katha there. But again, even there's only one katha, but then there's two kirtans usually every day. So again, simple formula. Instead of trying to go to too many places, Gurudev just selects one place and just kirtans, katha, and prasadam. So recently he was telling in one lecture in Laguna Beach, uh, um, no, actually in ISV, he was telling life is already so complicated. So why do you also want to make Krishna consciousness complicated? Because Krishna consciousness is supposed to be the solution for your complicated life. So why do you want to make Krishna conscious also complicated? Right? Then there's no solution. Right? So he has that. Even though he does such big marvelous things with so much like anxiety and so much planning and so much headache involved, still his core essence formula of what he's offering is extremely simple, just kirtans and prasad. This is like Lord Chaitanya's formula for the masses, especially. Just have kirtans and so prasadam. That's it. Yes, sometimes we do a lot of things like, for bridge preaching, for Westerners and all. But recently, Gauranga Prabhu was telling in one of the meetings in Sadhu Sanga we had, it never struck me like that. But as you know, Gauranga Prabhu is such a visionary and exalted person. He could see that in that way. He told, he was telling a group of devotees about Rishikesh festival. Every day, 500 to 600 Westerners come and chant Kirtan and take prasadam. I have never seen that many Westerners, even in the Western countries, in any of the temples or any of the programs. That really, I mean, we have been doing Rishikesh and we know all this fact, but I never thought of it as that way. Even though we do so many programs in the West, of course, Sadhu Sangha is an exception because there are a lot more devotees, Western
And
devotees.
Sadhu Sanga is more for devotees.
Yeah, it's devotees. And again, in fact, that's another thing, we actually have a lot of Western devotees in our movement in the West. But sometimes in temples, we don't see them, but we get to see them in Sadhu Sangha. But other than that, seeing 500 Westerners singing and chanting in the West, he said, I've never seen that. So that is the miracle that Srila Gurudev is doing. He's actually preaching to Westerners in India. So that again, whatever Gurudev does, right, it takes up several years for us to understand the spirit and catch up with it. So that's why Gurudev is emphasizing so much on Rishikesh, because it's so expensive to do a program in America for Westerners or anywhere else for Westerners because of the cost involved. But then they are coming there and they are essentially, it's like, like a pre-certified people like who are ready to take up Krishna consciousness because they're already there for some yoga and there's some they're already telling their interest in some way, and then they stay together and serve there. So again, Gurudev's formula is very simple: kirtans, prasadam, and so yeah, this year Prabhupada, serving Prabhupada disciples and like amazing kirtans and the prasadam also, the quality of the prasadam, devotees were like really touched. Actually, today is His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj's Vyasa Puja we are celebrating. So the head chef of the event is actually they are his disciples. So they serve with so much love. So generally, as those of you who may be managing anything, it's generally the managers that have to push the people for, like doing things, like increase the prasadam or increase the opulence or things like that. So here it's the opposite. So he wants to increase every year the quality and the quantity, and then we have to calm him down because it's like too much for us to handle. For example, like one year he wanted to do like the okra sabji. Actually, many years he does bindi. He does the bindi sabji, like 3,000 people like bindi sabji, like
Because bindi is so expensive here.
And this year, what is the vegetable he did? The peri.
Snow peas.
Yes. What is that in Hindi?
It's like
the beans type where
but you have to remove the thing for every single one.
Drumstick.
Not drumstick.
The drumstick.
No, it's like the piece, like a beans type of thing where you have to remove the side thing. Otherwise, it will become like a.
Like
Yeah.
gavar, like
Like, yeah.
that.
It's called lady finger, right?
called snow peas here.
Ladyfinger.
Snow peas.
Ladyfinger.
No, 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 no.
Ladyfinger is
So
okra.
that's
That's
okra.
the
This is called snow peas here. It's like a green color thing where you have to remove that all the way here and then turn and remove it. For every single separately we have to do.
gavar. Yeah.
Something like gavar.
Yeah, like that. So so he made
Same
that.
Fali.
Huh? Right.
It's called
So,
same Fali.
Same.
right. So it's like, like that. And what the Peer Ganga?
That was last 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Um,
That's like I don't know what the
Tamil தான் எனக்கு தெரியும் English.
Rich God.
Ridge God.
Ridge God. I don't know what you call in Hindi. Ridge God is
Because you have to peel. It's a little hard to
Yeah.
peel.
no, Parval is a small one. This
is a
one is
wrong one.
It's
Green.
Turai. Turai.
We call it
Ah,
Nenua.
Turai बोलते हैं इसको.
so I can send a picture later, but yeah, it's like these are like
Turai.
these are things we don't even do for our home because of the work involved.
No.
Okay.
Home we do.
No. I'm saying frequently. We don't do it like on a regular basis. These are like specialty items even at home. But then he made it at like, that scale because again, this is another wonderful thing about him. And again, his training by Tamal Krishna Maharaj. One time, our god sister, she manages the kitchen, Rasarani Mataji, many of you know from Karthik Parikama, she has come there too. So she's the one that manages all the shopping and ingredients and planning and all that. So she took us and we went to a meeting with this devotee name is Daruka Prabhu. He's the head chef. He and his wife Shweta Manjari, they are disciples of Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So we went to have a meeting. The goal was to convince him to scale things down. And then, so Rasrani Mataji had a lot of plans how to do it. And then so he said, okay, before we start the meeting, he said, I wanted to say something. And then he told, we are doing this to please Srila Gurudev. And Srila Gurudev will be pleased when devotees are pleased. So we have to serve the devotees the best. Now, what do you want to do? He just deflated the entire argument and diffused the entire argument with just this simple reasoning that if you are trying to please Gurudev by scaling things down, which is not going to please devotees. He said, like, if you just want to cook a regular Sunday fish, there are so many cooks. Why do you need me? Right? He said, we are here to please the devotees. Because we're pleasing the devotees, we please Gurudev. And that's how that's our Vyasa Puja offering to him. And then we couldn't speak a word. So the why I'm saying this is the consciousness that makes the event so special. The devotees that bring this deep sense of surrender, commitment, and giving their entire life for Prabhupada and the movement. It is that consciousness that people are able to taste in the prasadam. Like we read about that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? So how the consciousness of the cooks is manifested in the prasadam, how Mahaprabhu tastes the love of the devotees in the preparations, whether it's Raghava Pandit's sister, right?
Damayanti.
Their cook. So he's able to taste that. So this time, particularly devotees told the prasadam is so good. Not only just the fact that there's no lines, but just and then they went into so much extent to make such exotic, again, simple but exotic preparations. That was so satisfying. So for us also, it's a huge learning to see and serve such devotees. That's when we realize that ISKCON has such the best of the best devotees like that, and our role is just bringing them together, and then we can see how wonderful things we can do for Srila Prabhupada. So for us, the Sadhu Sangha retreat is a manifestation of this principle of cooperation across the disciples of various spiritual masters. Actually, yeah, many of the disciples, originally we started with the core team of, like Gurudev's disciples, but over the years now we have, some of the key disciples of Bhakti Charu Swami, Gopal Krishna Maharaj,
Radhanath Swami.
Radhanath Swami, Jayapataka Maharaj, many of these devotees, Vaisheshika Prabhu, like that, many of these devotees, disciples, they're all like such surrendered souls. They come for the event, and then many of them, they pay for their accommodation, registration, everything, but come only to serve in the event 3 days. Some of them hardly attend one kirtan. And this chef I was talking about, Dharka Prabhu, he has some health conditions which make it hard for him to stand for a long time, but he still did the entire festival. And by the end of the festival, the last day, his legs were swollen to twice the size. And he knew that that would happen, but still, he wouldn't give up his service for anything. So like that, everywhere you see that dedication and surrender of these wonderful devotees. So that is what the Sadhu Sangha is made of. It's not, just about us or anything like that. That's why it's when you serve in that capacity, then you have very clear that you are in no illusion that I am the doer. So you realize that, and in fact, my main service in Sadhu Sangha was to actually serve prasadam, like manage the serving of the prasadam. But this year, because we had to outsource it to the retreat center itself to do that, I was out of the job. I did not have any services there. Like, I was like feeling, in fact, the only service I do is,
Don't undermine.
no, really.
You were sitting in the kirtan all day,
No,
right?
no, the only,
There were other fires to fight.
yeah, the one service I do is like, start the prasadam prayers, like how I do in Kartik Parikrama. So that, things start on time and things like that. And so this time, somebody called me. I was in another part of the thing, and they called me. No, where are you? How to say the prasadam prayers? That's when I realized. I mean, it's clear. It's a super clear indication that I didn't contribute anything, because I had to just. I even forgot the time. And imagine, this has been the main service for me like last 10 years, and in fact, many times I in the like not many, at least twice a year I have dreams where where either I slept through the Sadhu Sangha, and then things are happening, and then I catch up later, or I miss the Sadhu Sangha for some reason. So I have such nightmares, of not wanting to lose this service. But this year, the devotee had to call me, and then I had to run there. I mean to say, that's how smooth it went. And
Don't exaggerate, Govinda.
no, really, I felt.
Every time you were there for the Kaushikla Ningana Guptinga.
I know. We had like the reason I'm saying it is, it went way beyond our expectations or our efforts. So which means it's clearly Krishna's help and hands are there for the entire thing. You want to add anything, Rasika?
I don't know what all. Probably you covered everything.
Um,
Srila Prabhupada disciples, I was dealing with most of them in arranging their room, some of their transportation and things like that. Because this year, Gurudev's theme was to honor them. You told that.
a little bit. You can tell more.
So his main desire was, because some of you might know, Alachua is a community where many Prabhupada disciples have gone there to retire. And our retreat center, the hotel is 2 hours from there. So this is an opportunity where many of them could come, because many of them are old. They don't like to travel. One is physical health problem and another is financial problem. So this year it's just a drive. So we knew that many of them could come. So even from like January, February, we have been trying to let everyone know. Gurudev was saying, like, he often asks, like in periodically, how many have registered Prabhupada disciples? I used to say 40, 50. Why not? Why not more? And then I contacted the Alachua temple president and Badhari Prabhu's wife and whoever we know, and asked them to put it in their WhatsApp groups, in the temple newsletter. And then we also told that your registration is free. So please come. Gurudev went to the extent like, let's send a bus to Alachua, bring everyone. Let's give them wheelchair. Let's give them whatever they want. give an assistant to everyone. Like he told, like we should have a board, and in the board we should put all of their names, and so many things. He wanted this event to basically glorify and honor them, and he was telling me you should have a garland for everyone. Flowers in America is extremely expensive, and in the last 2 3 earlier we used to buy flowers and make garlands, and as the event grew, I stopped that, and we were buying jasmine garlands. So we get it from a store here from India, they import. That's also expensive. So, but then this year he said you have to have jasmine garlands. So they were like almost 150 devotees. So we got jasmine garlands for all of them. And Gurudev was so planned. What we thought is on Saturday morning after Bhagavatam class, they will be there. And then Gurudev will speak in the stage, and then we will give a garland to everyone. But then he suddenly got an idea, and then he called me. He said, let's not do it after that, because sometimes somebody goes for prasadam, somebody goes to the room to take rest. Not even though I try to tell, they will not be there. Then he changed the plan. Let's do during lunch, because lunch is everybody will come. So he planned it so nicely. So from last 3 years, we have been having a special prasadam serving arrangement for Prabhupada disciples, because we don't want them to get lost, because 3,000 people eating is a huge thing, and they will have to find a place to sit, carry. So here we have a separate hall for them, and we have separate devotees. We have 2 stations to serve them, so they find it very nice, easy, and then with their god brother, god sister, they can conveniently talk. So they all were there, and Gurudev came, and then we had like some helpers. So he garlanded all the men, and me and another Mataji garlanded all the Matajis. And all the Prabhupada disciples were so touched. Oh, Indradhyana Maharaj has made this for us. He is taking care of us, because some Prabhupada disciples, they're very old, and not everybody is popular in ISKCON. Because some of them have done so much, but they're all in the back. Good. The thing is, some people are very popular, but not many. And it touched them, really. They were like so pleased that, Indradhyana Swami has done this for us. We were so happy that everybody was appreciating Gurudev actually in this festival. They were, you know, they all know that Gurudev is the visionary. That's why we put in Sadhu Sanga website, organized by Indradhyumna Swami. That's in the bottom. Before the copyright and all that, we put it. So people know that Indradhyumna Swami's program, but then not always it comes out. But in this festival, Gurudev's name came out so many times. So many people told me, Indradhyumna Swami did this and did that, and so this was a very important thing for me, that I felt grateful that we are able to glorify Gurudev in this way. It's only his plan, it's only his program. We are just like what you call people who execute it. But Krishna gave us some intelligence. We were able to execute it in some way by which Gurudev's appreciation, people were able to appreciate him, and he deserves that, I feel. He's doing so much. He deserves this from his God family, from other devotees. So everybody was appreciating Gurudev so much this time. I could visibly, because I sit in the registration desk. This time I sat at the desk all 3 days. I don't know. Every day from morning, I go like 6, 7 o'clock. I'm there till 10 p.m. Because people come and ask for so many things, room problem, this problem, that. That's like information, may I help you kind. So everybody comes there. So I hear all the feedback or problems or everything. So that's why I was able to, like so many Prabhupada disciples came there. And this time, for every Prabhupada disciple, Gurudev said we need to distinguish them. So we have a wristband, because we need to check who's there. So we gave them a golden wristband. And then we gave them a lanyard, like you have a tag and then a name tag. Bada Haridas, Kosha Rupa Dasi, like this. So the thing is, Gurudev said there are many Prabhupada disciples, many of us, even he said, I don't know many of them by name, because many joined in different parts of the world, right? Not everybody knows everyone. So we want to know if anybody is wearing this tag, then that means he's a Prabhupada disciple. So it was very clear. So we gave all of them. So they were all like kind of dumbstruck this time. How is this? We are getting so much recognition, which is due. And then some after first day, some of them found it hard to even move, because this hotel is huge. From your hotel to Kirtan Hall, it will take maybe
15
minutes. 10 minutes?
For 10-15 minutes.
My mom, it was so hard for her to walk because she's also very old. She comes once, she doesn't even go to the room. Whole day she stays here. She doesn't go after lunch to sleep or anything. So Prabhupada disciples found, so next second day, we rented wheelchairs. 10 wheelchairs we rented and we gave it to Prabhupada disciples. Whoever want wheelchairs, use it. Because it was too much to walk here and there, because they're also old, elderly. So we were trying to see how to make it better and better. So that was one of the prime highlights, pleasing Prabhupada disciples. And honestly, some of them have said, we have never been in such a hotel. We have never been in this big of a Kirtan hall. We were never lived in such rooms. So this is like a treat. Many of them, if you see, they don't have that much money to go to vacation, to go anywhere, because they gave all their youth for the moment. So they didn't go to college, they did not have a degree, they just lived through the things, and then now they're all in their fag end of the years doing this service, that service, and some simple thing. So this is like a very big treat for them, and they were all very grateful. என்ன சொன்னீங்க?
Lakshi's dad and the other.
There was one Prabhupada disciple, his two daughters are our god sisters. So they were asking me, my father wants to.
Cancel நாங்க.
Huh?
Cancel.
Yeah, சொல்ல போறேன். சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். So she was first, so we were individually, I was talking to so many Prabhupada disciples, family, friends, trying to make them come. So there was one Prabhupada disciple called Keshiha Prabhu. His daughters, I was in touch because she was in charge of garlands. So she said she was trying. See, the thing is, we give registration free for Prabhupada disciples when they share with others, because separate room is expensive here. So she was trying to find a roommate. And then I was trying to find a roommate for her father. I also found. And then finally, at one point, she said, my dad felt it would be disturbing for the roommate. But he can't afford coming alone. So he won't come. So then I asked, what would disturb the roommate? Because they all know each other. I even found somebody who they know from Alachua. Then she said, my dad chants 64 rounds before Guru Puja every single day. So he wakes up like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. He chants 64 rounds before, and this he has been doing for a few years. So she said it will be disturbing for the other Prabhupada disciples sleeping in the room if he wakes up so early, takes shower, and chants. So she was concerned. Then we were shocked to hear that, because we have heard devotees doing 64 rounds, but not before Guru Puja. Then we were like, so this thing. So I said, don't worry, I'll give him a separate room. Your dad doesn't have to pay. Just ask them to register. And then she and her dad were so grateful. Then when I told Gurudev said, oh wow, maybe I should go to his room and chant. Who's chanting 64 rounds before Guru Puja? And Gurudev said it. He didn't not have that much time. Then he was so shocked. I didn't even know my godbrothers are doing this. So I saw that Prabhu in the program and I was thanking him. And then I was telling him, Prabhu, you're all inspiration, because we have never heard these things. We hear this in Haridas Thakur and, in the scriptures, in the books, not like in front of us. And also we heard of Babaji's in Radhakund, chanting 20 hours and all that, but we don't associate with them. We don't see them. So when we heard of him, we were like so shocked, and we were very happy that we were instrumental in making Prabhu come to the retreat, and he was very happy to come. He was very happy and he was very grateful that he was able to come. And also many of Gurudev's sannyasi godbrothers, they were, because I normally arrange them, and I this time Radhanath Swami came one day early. He never comes one day early. He is another example of humility. Oh my God, Maharaj wanted to come one day early. His flight was booked one day early, but he never asked me for the room for one day because he did not want to bother me. And then I was trying to find out where is he going to stay. So I was asking the person who booked his ticket. Then the thing is with Ravanath Maharaj, everything is a secret. Maharaj doesn't want to disturb anyone. He doesn't tell anyone anything. And that Prabhu was saying, Mataji, I don't know where Maharaj is going. Maybe he's going to Alachua. I said, Alachua is 2 hours. Why is he going 2 hours and 2 hours coming back? So I texted Maharaj saying, Maharaj, I can give you a room one day early. Do you want to stay one day early? Then he replied, that would be perfect. Thank you. Then I realized he didn't even want to ask. You imagine, Radhanath Maharaj has thousands of disciples in America, thousands literally, and people are dying to serve him. And Maharaj doesn't even want to ask, not even that. And then I asked, Maharaj said, yes, I would love to come. And so and then, this hotel, one nice thing is they gave us very nice sweets. So we gave that to not all, some of the sannyasis. One of them was Radhanath Swami. And this time he came on Thursday, so I went to the airport to receive him. Normally I don't go because he comes on Friday. Friday is extremely busy for all of us. So I went to the airport, and while coming, he asked, how many of my God brothers? No, he asked, what is the highlight of this festival? So I said, 150 of your God family is coming. He was shocked. And then he said, can I know? So I took my list and started reading the names. Everybody. And Maharaj was like speechless. I read 150 names in the car. Coming back, and he was said, wow, this is the glory of the festival. So many of my God family, because he said none of us have been together, so they were all happy that we are taking care of their God family, because they also know how important services they have done. And then after that, I took Maharaj to his room. Then Maharaj saw that room. Maharaj, how humble. He said, you have given this big of a room to a rat. This is how he speaks. And then I said, Maharaj, you deserve much, much more. This is the biggest room we have. And then he went everywhere. Because this is a suite, right? So there is a living room, there is a kitchen, there is a dining room, there is a bedroom. And he said, this is for me. I said, of course, you have meetings, you can meet people, you are doing big, big preaching. So this will be. So he was so grateful, so happy. So that is another thing we felt like all the senior devotees, we were able to please them, and they were all very happy and appreciative. Yeah.
Last time we gave us not such a big room, probably half the size of a room, to Jayadvaita Maharaj, and
No, it's a suite.
it's a suite.
We gave in the last time also there was a rooms and suites, but the suites were not this big. There is just a small living room. So we gave, you want to say?
You can tell.
So I gave that to Jayadvaita because the thing was we had some 15 suites. So all the sannyasis I assigned suites. So here how it happens is the hotel gives us the rooms and then I do the assignment. So I assigned suites for Jayadvaita Swami. He came to me and said, can I, what did he say? This is too luxurious for me. Can you move me to a normal room? And then I had to apologize to Maharaj. Maharaj, all the normal rooms are full. If you have to move, then I have to call housekeeping, clean both the rooms, and then exchange people. We can do it because I don't want Maharaj to move. So I said, Maharaj, it will take more time and I have to do these things. Then he said, it's okay. I'll accept this austerity. That's his level, Jayadvaita Swami. He said, I want a simple room. So for him, suite is austerity.
So that's the, like where else you will hear about these things in the scriptures, right? That's why the physical association is so important to understand these things, Similarly, in an earlier retreat, one time we told Niranjan Maharaj that we had to, change some slot to accommodate. So we wanted to get their permission before we moved. And then Maharaj said, I don't even have to sing. Just going to ask him to see if he can move to a different time. He said, I don't even have to sing. Same thing with Radhanath Maharaj also. They're all like so humble.
Yeah, Govinda Caran selects the Bhagavatam verses and gives it to them. And then Shivaram Swami is asking, they never say, I want to speak on this verse. Give me the verse. And I ask, is this okay? This is fine. This is a good verse. So they are all like wanting to be a servant. That's how they are demonstrating to us, actually.
You want to tell about Shivaram Maharaj?
Yeah, and this is the first time Shivaram Maharaj came to Sadhu Sangha in the last 12 years. And he doesn't come to America. Basically, he doesn't travel. As you all know, right? Maharaj's main, he feels, everybody knows his contribution to the movement is his books. So Maharaj spends most of the time writing, many of us have seen many books are here, No Vraja Mahima and Naparayam, all these esoteric books about Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan. That's his service. He normally lives in Hungary or lives in Mayapur 2 times of the year and then writes books. He hardly travels. But then this time, Gurudev invited him. So this time what Gurudev did is, as soon as we fixed the venue, I remember because I was with Gurudev in Italy. As soon as we fixed this venue, I told Gurudev, we have to get 4,000 people. Only then this place will become
Break even.
break even, affordable. So I said, if you have to get 4,000 people, then we have to get the top sannyasis, top kirtaniyas in the movement. So immediately he had an idea, I'm going to call. So he took the phone and then he called Shivaram Swami, Radhanath Swami, and Sachinandan Swami on the phone, and they could not say no because Gurudev was explaining about everything in such a vivid manner. I remember I was there. He was saying, Shivaram Maharaj, 100,000 square feet Kirtan hall, 60,000 square feet Prashadam hall, and Gurudev also a little bit exaggerates. And I was on the side. I gave him the paper. He said, give me the fact. Whatever I gave, he added a few things. And if I say 4,000, he will add it to make 5,000. And then he was calling them and explaining to them in such a vivid way. And then he told me to send the video. Braja Bihari did the video, right?
Yeah.
And then I sent the video to all of them, and they were all watching it in the call. And then Gurudev told Shivaram Maharaj so much. And then so Maharaj said he would come. And we couldn't believe. Radhanath Swami told me, I never thought Shivaram Maharaj will come to America. This is such a miracle that Maharaj has agreed. I said, Indradhanu Maharaj requested him, so he came. And Shivaram Maharaj also was very, very pleased to see so many devotees. And what we would see is Maharaj will sit in his book table. They had a huge book table. Maharaj told this is requirements. He said, I need 18-foot long table for my books. And then Gurudev said, whatever Shivaram Maharaj asks, give it. No questions asked. If he wants table, if he wants banner, if he wants whatever. So we gave him a prime spot, and then he had it, and they had a huge banner. And Maharaj literally sat there 12 hours. From morning 8 o'clock until night 8, 9. Just for lunch and this thing he will go. And so many devotees came and sat there. Maharaj was giving darshan, like talking to so many of them. And it was such a nice, and Maharaj was also very happy to talk to so many devotees. They were distributing books, his disciples were distributing books, and Maharaj was talking and seeing, and it was such a pleasant thing that everybody got Maharaj Association in America, which was because otherwise these devotees wouldn't have an opportunity to go to Hungary or other places where also it's hard to meet Maharaj like this openly, Maharaj sitting and giving darshan. So many of them felt it, like Radhanath Maharaj disciples, and Radhanath Maharaj, another thing. I arranged his disciples to cook prasadam for him the previous day. So this time, this another thing is Govinda was saying this hotel is extremely strict with their rules. So I was trying to find a place to cook for sannyasis, and there was no place. So I rented an Airbnb just for this, because we don't have a kitchen. Because in the main kitchen, if we cook, Daruka Prabhu gets little bit upset because it disturbs their main cooking. Because right, 10 disciples will go for one guru and cook there, and all this will create. So I have to manage all these things, not disturb the cooks, but at the same time satisfy the disciples so they can cook for the gurus. So we rented an Airbnb. So I arranged Maharaj Prasadam, and then I was asking Radhanath Maharaj. So all the Prabhupada disciples eat Prasadam in a room. So we'll cook your Prasad and bring it there, and then you can eat that along with other devotee Prasadam. Then Maharaj sent me a text, one-liner. I only want to eat what my god brothers and god sisters eat. Thank you very much. And then he put this thing. That means don't ask me anything, no more questions. This is my decision. It changed all the plans. Because we had planned, okay, this Mataji will cook, this person will cook, somebody. Maharaj, I don't want to eat anything different. Maharaj always, we have heard about this, and this time I could see more. He was like, I don't want any special treatment. Whatever they are doing, I will do. Like Gurudev also. I said, we will bring your quinoa. I said, I can eat what my godbrothers eat. I don't need anything. It's only 2 days. I will survive without eating my quinoa. I don't want. So he said, then Shivaram Maharaj, why you should cook for me separate? I will eat that. Okay, then all the VIP cooking all changed. Everybody said, I will eat with my godbrother, I will eat with them. So they all went there. We served them, so they all ate that prasadam. It was very nice that they all mingled together. And this another thing is Rameshwar Prabhu. I don't know how many of you have heard. He is from LA. Prabhupada pushed him to print Chaitanya Charitamrita in some record-breaking time. Right, Govind Charan?
2 months.
Like Prabhupada pushed him so much, like it was beyond BBT's capacity, all of that. I'm not saying it right. Vaishesh Prabhu used to say it. And Rameshwar Prabhu is considered as a very important person among the Prabhupada disciples. And everybody was surprised that he came. He came this time, and many devotees were talking to him. That was such a pleasant sight to see him.
Yeah.
Gurudas Prabhu came.
Yeah.
And Gurudas Prabhu, who started the first ISKCON temple in London, he was the former husband of Yamuna Mataji. Yamuna, they
Yeah.
started, and he is 84 years old. Gurudev said Gurudas has to come. So he registered, then he cancelled, then he told call him. So I called him and then I asked him. Then he said, it's too far. I don't think I can make it, and I don't have money to book a flight ticket because he's coming from San Francisco. So Gurudev said, somehow raise the money. So then we booked a ticket for him. I booked tickets, and so we arranged him to come, and then he came. So many of the Prabhupada disciples were very happy to see Gurudas Prabhu because he's from very, very old, maybe 1965, Govinda Caran, right? Joined quite early, right?
Yeah, 67.
Quite early. He went to London. So many of them had very fond memories of him. Gurudev also tried to get Shama Sundar Prabhu, but I tried to talk to him, but he wasn't that well. So he said, this is too far to go from. He's also living here.
The Malathi came.
Malati Mataji came and she refused to take the Prabhupada disciples. How we have is they pay for registration and then we give a check at the registration. So she refused to take it. She said, this is my contribution. You're all doing so much. I don't want any money. She is another gem, Mother Malati. She comes every year to Sadhu Sanga. This year I noticed she was weak. She was walking like this little bit. She was weak, and we also gave a wheelchair for her, but still she came, and she was also very grateful. And who else? Some of you know Gurudev's former wife, Mother Kripamayi. She is another gem in our movement. She lives here in California. We arranged for her to come. We booked her tickets and all that. And she met a lot of her old friends. And because she doesn't travel much, she's older than Gurudev. She's 76. Now she's 77. She doesn't go anywhere. She's mostly in her home here. So she was very, very happy to see so many of her God family here, and she was in total bliss this time.
So I'll show a few pictures of the place. I think I think Gurudev's. This is probably the view from the Gurudev's room.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah, everywhere there's like a map.
this is the entrance. There's a fountain in front of it.
This looks almost like a tilak.
The thing is, it was very magnificent, that. And another thing.
Yes.
See, every year one of our god sister, she does the decoration. Before that, normally we decorate the Kirtan hall. This time it's too big, so Gurudev said, forget about decorating. Let's just decorate the stage. What he said was right because the hall was so big. One of our god sister does the decoration, but this time she had to be in India after Rishikesh and all that. So last moment we found out that she could not come. So luckily, we found out that Rasa Manjari, she decorates the deities in Alachua. She's known for it, and her husband is Gurudev disciple. So somehow I requested, and her, because her husband is Gurudev disciple, he also requested because it was too last minute, and she accepted the decoration, and she did wonderful decoration for Prabhupada and for the stage. And she's the one, we used to say Gurudev's Vyasa Puja also. It was, she did it very well. Okay, you go.
Yeah, and every year we used to have a Prabhupada deity for the festival. Prabhupada Murti. This year, because we had it in Orlando, they couldn't drive the Murti that long from where he was. So I was like scrambling, asking so many devotees, and some said, yeah, we have Murti, but we don't have extra clothes. We don't have Vyasas and like that. So even until 3 days before,
We did not have the change of clothes for Prabhupada.
we didn't have a proper plan for which Prabhupada Murti we are going to bring. And just as I was saying yesterday, earlier, right? When Krishna arranges something, it's way beyond our planning or our efforts. This is another instance of that. So this beautiful Murti of Srila Prabhupada, made by Lochan Prabhu. He was also there, right?
He didn't come this time.
So he was, he made most of the original Murtis of Prabhupada in ISKCON. So this is one of those Murtis he made. And so you can see Prabhupada is sitting on this Vyasasan. You see this this thing behind here.
The wooden one.
The wooden. So there's a There's a let me show you this.
இது நீங்க இன்னொரு photo அனுப்பிச்சீங்க.
Yeah.
யாருக்கு அனுப்பிச்சீங்க?
Can you see this? So this is the actual Vyasa's son. You can see this part at the back, in which Srila Prabhupada literally sat in the Los Angeles garden. This was like when he was there 50, 60 years ago. So somehow this devotee, his name is Guru Gauranga Prabhu, he got this Vyasasan as a gift for his service there in LA. And he is worshipping this Murti in that Vyasasan at his place, which is just 40 minutes away from the retreat center. And he just came to know about it like only 3 days before when I asked him, I am not able to get a proper arrangement for Srila Prabhupada's Murti. And then he immediately sent his picture saying that, look, I have this, not only this beautiful Murti, but also the original Vyasas in which Srila Prabhupada literally sat. You know, what do you call that as, right? It's not a coincidence. It's clearly Srila Prabhupada's blessing for us, where we were able to touch this piece of wood, you know, this Vyasasan that's made. And you can see he's glowing in this. And in fact, this particular pose, because this was in LA, so Lochan Das Prabhu made it in such a way that it's like Prabhupada is making a point to defeat the materialistic scientists. So that is the mood he had for this particular Murti. And he said, actually, when we look at this Murti in like the fingers, he said it took him 4 months just to make the hand. So that's how precisely, you know, carved this Murti is. And we were so fortunate to serve this Murti of Srila Prabhupada also in the festival this year. Like that, so many
background theme.
miracles. Yeah. So this is our kitchen. That's Chataratma Prabhu. This is our cooking team. Yeah. So this is part of the huge Kirtan hall.
Gurudev was walking, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
When we were showing him the previous day, I think.
Yeah, you want to say anything about Sachinandan Maharaj?
This time, actually, I didn't talk to
Normally
Maharaj.
we talk more, right?
This time, I didn't talk to Maharaj that much. This time, one thing, me and Govinda Caran, everything was delayed. We were like, whatever normally we would do 1 month before, we were doing 1 week before, 1 week before, we were doing the previous day. So somehow we were like so busy, but to the contrary, everything went well. we were like not planned in many things. So you know, a very nice picture.
Yeah.
Picture so this is an LED screen behind our stage. This we started 2 years ago because earlier we used to have DTs, like that was pre-COVID. We used to have DTs. So the DTs used to be there. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra were there for a while. And then when we started moving, it was a little bit difficult to have DTs. And there were some opinions about we should not face our back behind the DT and all that. So then we changed to this LED screen theme. And then we realized that it was working out nicely because we can change it to many things and people are able to look at it and absorb themselves. And we have this very nice boy, Amoda Vardhana. He's only 20-year-old Vaishesh Ko's disciple. He works at Microsoft, young software engineer. So he manages this screen. So he comes up with various immersive images. You know, some he gets here and there, some he puts it together, and he sits there all day, changes this according to the kirtan, then he puts a schedule and different things. And you know, that was also very nice. And somebody wrote to us and asked for those images as well.
Yeah. That's why, you know, everybody in ISKCON is so special. And if you just bring the, you know, all the special people together, it creates such a powerful experience.
Somebody wants to talk.
Yeah.
Panchajanya raised hand, and before that also I saw somebody raising hand.
Yeah, sorry, it's too late, right? We lose track of the time.
No, Prabhuji. Madhvi, we don't want this nectar to end, I guess. Uh, I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask Prabhuji, could you elaborate? Like, I remember one of the like highlights of Sadhu Sangha is also combined initiations. That's
Yes.
something which is
Yeah, actually,
very
the,
new.
Every year like that.
there are two things that happen. As I mentioned the history, right? The originally Sadhu Sangha started as Gurudev's Vyasa Puja, but right after the first year, uh, Gurudev made it into a public program. Yeah, continue. I'll bring the chair. So Gurudev made it into a public program. Side effect of that is we don't get to perform his Vyasa Puja in the main stage or in a public thing, and also it's kind of it's a mixed blessing in one sense because Gurudev also doesn't kind of want to draw attention to himself. So we have the Vyasa Puja itself as now a portion of the ceremony during the break time, and that also shows Gurudev's humility, right? When he's organizing such a big program, he doesn't want to put himself in the center of it, and at the same time, for us, even though the official Vyasa Puja ceremony is only like 1 hour or 2 hours during the break time, for us as his disciples, the whole event is itself our Vyasa Puja offering to him.
See, I have to convince Gurudev every year to put this in the schedule. Because something comes and then I said, your disciples are coming there. We need to do the Vyasa Puja. Whether it is 1 hour, 1.5 hours, let's squeeze it and do it. Otherwise, something else will come and then, Gurudev doesn't want to always do it. But somehow we squeeze everything. He'll say, let's do, we don't even have time to do like proper food bathing and all. We just use water. Because the kirtans is the main according to him, that we don't want to take time from it. So we try to squeeze everything and do it.
Yeah, so that's the spirit in which we serve. That's the whole event is so.
Govinchan always says that Sadhu Sangha retreat is our Vyasa Puja offering to Srila Gurudev. So we have to do everything first class because he likes everything first class.
Yeah, and actually one Prabhupada disciple, he's a black African American devotee, Hari Ashwa Prabhu. He told one year in such a sweet kind of the African American way that you guys know how to throw a party. So that was like so touching because basically this is our
Party,
you can say
birthday
it's our
party.
birthday party for Srila Gurudev. That's in our minds. That's what Sadhu Sangha is about. Of course, everybody has different experiences, but in our mind, um, it's like celebrating.
Because it
Gurudev
comes exactly on the same week.
and started with that spirit also. So it's actually and also as we know, Srila Gurudev likes everything big, bold, and beautiful. So this matches that theme. So every year, and also he always says Anandam Buddhivardhanam, Krishna consciousness is blissful when expanding. And again, it's all the you can say this is the nature of spiritual energy. In Srila Prabhupada's books, we read about the spiritual energy. There's no limit. All our material, it was only the material energy that has all these constraints and limits. So we need to learn to have faith in these instructions and in these teachings of Prabhupada that this is the manifestation of the spiritual energy. The spiritual potency is always increasing. It can accommodate everything. It just what limits is our own desire and our own faith in the principles that these things can happen. And yeah, and especially this particular retreat, as I mentioned, when we went first from the uh, 700 people to 1400 people, it was like a step up. So similarly, in this year also, it was a complete, it was another step up in terms of the experience we could provide for the devotees.
I was teasing Gurudev, like next year we have to go back to Dallas. Dallas is the last year. That was 2,800. We took the whole hotel. Here we did not take the whole hotel. There we did. Now he said, no, I don't want to go back to Dallas. If at all we are doing, it has to be this or higher. I don't want to go back there. So Gurudev is always into going more.
And then regarding the initiation, so those are the two, you can say, what do you call, off-site, not out of that.
No, during the break, these are two things that we do that are not part of the main. We don't advertise. See, the Vyasa Puja, we only tell the disciples.
Anyway, it gets filled up.
Anyway, everybody comes.
Fine.
All the youth from all other, everybody comes. All the kids come. And even the adults. This time, we did not have enough flowers for the Gurudev's Guru Puja. We ran out and we were giving leaves and everything because we could not go and buy things. So, and then the initiation, we do it on Sunday. So, how it started is Gurudev is not traveling everywhere in America. So, there are some devotees who need, who want to get initiated during Sadhu Sanga. And then other gurus were also having the similar thing because they, like Sachinandan Swami first asked, like many years ago, because he was also coming there and not going to other cities in America. So that's how it added up. And then Vaisheshik Prabhu also joined. So now every year, like 3 or 4 gurus, they perform initiation. So each of them speak a little bit. And Gurudev always tells Vaisheshik Prabhu to speak. So he speaks like the meaning, not meaning, like a little bit about initiation. And then everybody does the names and they do it. And it's such a nice thing, as Panchajan was asking, to see everybody coming there. There are like these gurus, their disciples, and everyone else also. So one year it became too big, so we did in the Kirtan hall itself because we could not find a hall to accommodate everyone because it was becoming too much. So this year, because we have parallel kirtans and all that, so we did in another hall, and it was very nice to see everybody coming together. So all the gurus sit together, and then one by one they call out and they do the initiation. That also shows the combined spirit. And we have never seen this guru thing or anything in Sadhu Sangha because we all work together with many other disciples and everybody comes forward to, serve everyone. And in the
So that is the spirit of ISKCON, is that it's a, it's a multi-guru society, but it shows that while everybody is, fully dedicated and committed to serving their own guru, but we can all also cooperate and help each other and serve all other spiritual masters simultaneously within the framework of ISKCON. Like for me, like having such examples is very, very important. Otherwise, when we read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about, Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru being on the same platform, how do you practice that, especially with other devotees, right? So this one provides us, so which means that the relationship that we develop, they're all transcendental because they are not on a material basis that, he's my guru, he's your guru, like that, not based on that distinction. But at the same time, you don't want to go the other extreme and abolish all the gurus anyway. That's what that is.
Become Ratvik.
And then do that. So the balance is to have full faith and surrender to your own guru. At the same time, understand that every other guru is also as dear to your spiritual master as they are to Srila Prabhupada, and then serve them in that way. So this is the beauty this affords. And here I have one quote from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which recently came across this because sometimes people may question, why do you have to have such kind of, expensive resorts or arrangements, like, isn't it too luxurious for Mahaprabhu's devotees who are supposed to be renounced and all that? But here is our justification. Maharaj Prataparudra there told both Kashi Mishra and the temple inspector, provide all the devotees and associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with comfortable residences, convenient eating facilities for prasadam, and convenient visiting arrangements at the temple so that there will not be any difficulty. So yes, individually for when it comes to us, we have to be extremely renounced and not
Simple.
we have to be simple and not be after the luxury. But when it comes to serving other devotees, we have the full adhikar based on this verse to actually take care of other devotees nicely, which is why that Jayadvait Maharaj's quote is very apt. He said,
I'll accept the austerity.
yeah, we asked, requested Maharaj, please accept it as an austerity. So that is how that's how we reconcile both statements like that. And
அந்த donation சொல்லட்டுமா? Sponsorship எல்லாரும் வந்து கொடுத்தாங்க.
சொல்லிட்டேன் already.
சொல்லிட்டீங்களா?
And yeah, one last thing. There's another like wonderful thing that I learned. I mean, I don't get to hear the classes during the event. I hear them only.
Maharaj class.
Yeah, I only hear them afterwards. So when Radhanath Maharaj was giving the class, he spoke on many subjects, and then finally he concluded.
It was a little bit late.
Yeah.
Like normally the prasadam must start at 8, but Maharaj was going a little bit longer.
Yeah, he went till 8:10, and he was just trying to make his last point, and he said, so we we can all chant and be happy. And then uncharacteristic to Maharaj's mood, right? Because he's extremely like selfless. So he even felt that when he said chant and be happy, that is a kind of expression of, you can say, some kind of
Like you want to be happy.
You want to be happy. Like there's some kind of a tinge of selfishness there. We could feel that he felt that in the statement, and then immediately he
Clarified it.
He clarified it. What that means is, you chant and purify your heart, and then make others happy. And then you may see that, hey, that's not the actual meaning. It says chant and be happy. You're like saying chant and be others happy. How does it make? How does it add up? And then he said, when you make others happy, Krishna becomes happy. And when Krishna becomes happy,
then
you become happy. So that was his purport for chant and be happy, which such a like a eye-opening statement for me. Because normally when we say chant and be happy, we think I have to chant and I have to be happy. There's some kind of a selfish motive even in spiritual life. Because even in pursuit of spiritual life, we can become selfish. We can be selfish. We can be impersonal. We can be impersonal even in our spiritual life. So all these tendencies have to be overcome. So Maharaj was mentioning this particular point and immediately clarified the meaning that it's not a selfish proposition. It's fully selfless, and the way we chant and be happy is by chanting and purifying our heart so that we can serve others selflessly, and then please Krishna through that. And when Krishna is pleased, then you become happy without separate endeavor. So this is the same point our cook was mentioning. Remember I mentioned when he started our meeting, he said, if you want to please Gurudev, we please the devotees, so that the devotees are like when the Gurudev sees that the devotees are pleased, then Gurudev is pleased. So this is our Vaishnava movement. It's our Krishna consciousness. The essence is that Krishna and his devotees are inseparable, right? There's we cannot please one and displease other. And the way to actually please Krishna is by pleasing the devotees. And so Radhanath Maharaj was finishing the lecture. Sachinandan Maharaj is the MC. So he was getting a little anxious that the class was going late. So he was like, waiting there. And so Radhanath Maharaj said these 3 points. Said, chant and be happy means you chant and make others happy. And then Krishna becomes happy, and then you become happy. And he concluded the class by saying, now let's make Sachinandan Maharaj happy, and then finish the class. That was like, extreme highlight,
Maharaj has a very good sense of
he has,
humor.
sense of humor, the presence of mind, and he connected this such a deep, I mean, the chant and be happy is such a simple point. He connected that with this extremely deep philosophical point of how you become happy in an unselfish manner. And then immediately he changed gears and made this humorous comment that now let's all make Sachinandan Maharaj happy and finish the class. Like that was like mind blowing. So yeah, that's all. Like yes, Advait, you raise your hands. You want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, I think you made a point before that when you said we have something and we don't realize the value of it until it's gone. So I was remembering we went to Sadhu Sanga 4 years.
Mm.
But then after we moved to India, it's been 6 years and we haven't went. So just all the memories are coming back now. So I'm so thankful for this talk, Roji, and for the festival you put on every year. And also, I get to see the live streams, and the quality is very good every year. And please continue this amazing service. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Advait. Yeah, hope.
Advait was living in Seattle with his family, and then he moved to Bangalore now.
Yes, Gopi Mandala.
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, we saw like many videos where Srila Gurudev was coming on the prasadam table and checking all the stuff, the quality, the devotees who were serving, and we were like, Srila Gurudev is very particular about the quality, the way it is presenting and everything, and how they are like um, uh, representing it to the God brothers and the team. So first is this, and second, I want to share that I saw the Vyas Puja celebration of Mahatma Prabhuji. So I was just feeling that it was like their disciples were also appreciating that this was so vast that people were appreciating that we are doing so much things, so many things are taken care of. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that is something that happened this year because Mahatma Prabhu lives in Alachua. They requested if they could do Vyasa Puja. Normally, we haven't done it, but we did on Monday so that it doesn't, during the program, so it doesn't disturb the other kirtan, and they were able to celebrate it nicely in a hall.
Yeah, Mahatma Prabhu is another humble soul, extremely humble, down to earth. He was, he said, find a room which, people just don't discover. So he just wanted to be so private that, find a room, and then we gave him some room like that. So, yeah, so many wonderful exchanges with these devotees. So yeah, now we are experiencing life after Sadhu Sangha. So it's like, yeah, it's we have to wait one more year to experience this again. But that's the spiritual world, every pastime says called Nitya Leela is happening again and again. So we just have to wait and serve like that. Anything else?
It's also late for
Yeah, it's very late for you all. Thank you for staying up so late and giving us an opportunity to glorify Srila Gurudev. And one more thing before, yeah, this is what I was thinking before we finish. And the the biggest thing in Sadhu Sangha is to make sure everybody's accommodated properly, because everything else other people do. The accommodation is the only one that does we do. And then Rasika has been working almost like a month or two without sleeping, and this as the number of people increase, these hotels probably they don't do this kind of large, even though they have such big spaces, they don't do this kind of large events. And they don't know our devotees requirements, right?
ISKCON devotee requirements.
So we like they thought it's such a simple thing to just get a list of people to allocate the rooms in. And as you all know, Rasika is extremely fair. So she went through all the like 4,000 people, and then went through at what order they registered, and made sure she gave the rooms in higher floors for people that registered early. And then all that everywhere, even though she didn't have to do all these things, she spent like so much time, and then they made so many mistakes in that. And every time she corrects, they'll make some new mistakes. She has been doing that over and over and over again, without kind of losing her goal. So I was myself amazed at that. I keep telling her, you don't have to do this much. It's so hard for me to see that she's spending whole midnight like that, serving. But that's another um, realization for me is that, like Gurudev says, if you want to do something, do it properly, otherwise don't bother doing it at all. So she exemplifies that mood, and this year particularly we saw, because of the complexity involved in everything. So and again, taking care of devotees in such a personal manner, even though there are so many devotees, we don't know, again, that's the personal nature of our movement, right? It's not about numbers, it's about the quality, it's about how every devotee is felt special. Just like, in Krishna's pastimes also, we see that when the when Krishna is sitting in a circle with all the devotees, it's not that some people are facing Krishna in the front and some people are facing Krishna in the back, but Krishna manifests this potency where everybody actually sees him in the front. And when he dances in the Rasa Leela, Krishna makes sure everybody is thinking that Krishna is dancing with me. So it's all about being personal when we scale. So that's one thing this year. Like in fact, why I was telling why I lost my job. Why I lost my job was actually the chef was trying to fire me last 6 7 years, because of, in the name of because we have this constraint to serve everybody in 1 hour, so we are trying to serve as fast as we can. And like we measure even the size of the spoon, how much people have to lift and pour, which exact place they have to pour. So we have trained devotees like that to be super efficient, like almost like the Amazon like warehouse workers like that. And then as a result of that, the cook was feeling, look, we are cooking all this with so much consciousness, and you guys are spoiling all of that in the name of serving, by rushing people, by putting things here and there. And then like say, like people sometimes put the cake upside down and things like that. So he has been trying for many years to just make it self-service, let devotees come, take peacefully, and then they let them go and sit, you guys get out of the way. So like that. So this year, by Krishna's grace, it was possible that, even though there are so many devotees, normally self-serving means it's going to take even longer, but because the retreat center was so huge and they charged us so much, and then we had like almost like a 30 lines where people can parallelly go and take prasadam, like that. So like Krishna is helping. We never saw that as a solution in the past, of doing so much and serving nicely like that. But it also made me humble, that it's not that like we have to be in the center to do some service just because we have been doing it like that. We can also see how to do it properly. So basically, after this year, I realized that we may think cooking is harder and serving is not it's not, we don't give even enough, like what to call, like importance to serving prasadam. Serving prasadam itself is an art. It itself is a huge service. In fact, we were trying to like tell the hotel people how to serve in our way. They told, look, you are paying us for this. This is what we do for a living. Can you leave it up to us? We'll do it. You trust us. And then we didn't have a choice, so we had to trust them. But after the work, after the service they have done, it was like so clear that to serve this many devotees, how much training, how much practice, how much preparation, how much coordination, how much communication is needed to serve devotees nicely. Like it's a professional job. It just like you cannot become a doctor without the training, or an engineer without the training. So this is like a professional service that they were providing, and we had not realized that in all these years. And then because if you go to the back end of the serving, before the prasadam comes out, there are like 150 staff waiting to receive the prasadam and put them in the proper places and to replace them. They had extremely documented protocols how to replace every item when it's or before it gets over, so that people don't scrap the bottom. And then they all have walkie talkies, and then they all communicate, and then they all have everything like up to the mark, so that they know exactly where every tray is and how to bring everything and serve everything properly. So it's something we take even prasadam service as granted, that anybody could do, what's the big deal in it. But then when we want to really serve devotees nicely, we can see how professionally everything can be done. So that is Gurudev's mood, is that anything he does it really properly. So this time was a humbling experience to see that, this is all we need to do, and we can grow in every area.
Govinda
basically.
Caran, what you say is right, but then he always takes a humble position. It's not that we have been neglecting serving, but we had a lot of other constraints. With the constraint, he was trying to do the prasadam to the best possible, but we had less space, less people, less money, and many other things. This year, it was made possible because of this resort and the huge hall. We never had such a big hall for prasadam. It was always split. So when it splits, people go, too many people go here, too less people go there. It was also a bit of confusion and all that. We did not have that many devotees to do it. So this year, by Krishna's mercy, we were pushed to the next level. So it worked out. But I don't undermine your efforts, because every year he takes care of Prashadam, and they do their best in doing that. But this year the facilities were better. So we were able to offer better service. And now we cannot go back, and that's why Gurudev was saying, when you have done everything to one level, you cannot go down. So now we have to meet it.
So actually, more than us, the people were worried, how are you going to beat this next year? So like even before the retreat,
Even
they were
the
worried.
event was over, they were asking, how are you going to find a better venue than this? I said, Prabhu, let's finish this. We don't know about next year. We have to find.
So yeah, so it's all fun. That's what Gurudev's mood is always, spiritual life is fun. And then, that's what this event is about. And again, thank you all for support. And I know many of the disciples in India, they contribute towards this effort. For example, our Seva Swarup Prabhu, he did the mobile app. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Digital token.
We, some of you know about it, and please feel free to drop off. So in Sadhu Sangha, many things are done by volunteers, like the entire vegetable cutting. Oh, this time Govinda didn't say. Did you say Friday was Ekadasi?
I
When
said we don't have
Ekadasi
enough
comes on
challenges.
Sadhu Sangha, it's a big, big problem. Which is a problem because when you serve somebody chole, it fills the stomach. When you have to replace that with vegetable, imagine how much veggies you have to cut. So when Ekadasi comes on Sadhu Sangha, our cooks have a big problem, especially with sabji cutting. And then desserts. One Mataji did blueberry cheesecake for Ekadasi. It was a huge hit. Everybody was astounded.
8,000.
She made like 5,000-6,000 pieces of blueberry cheesecake, and people were amazed. Ekadasi and aloo gauranga for everyone. What did we did? We got 1,500 pounds of potatoes, and then we bought a potato mealer machine, because you cannot peel these potatoes human, because we have people to cut. You cannot get another army to peel. So we bought a potato peeler. So the potato peeler we have to install. So we have to ship it to the hotel 10 days before. They have to install, verify. Because if it breaks in the weekend, we cannot replace it, because it's a weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a long. So there's other things anyway. So Ekadasi came. So we have a huge army of people. So Sadhu Sangha, lot of devotees volunteer. So for volunteering, we give them a t-shirt. So we tell them, we cannot repay for what you are doing, but this is humble, gesture. So for t-shirts, what we do so far is all these leads, like the vegetable cutting lead is there, and then registration lead is there, prasadam serving lead. So we give them coupons. When somebody does 4 hours of service, so we give them a coupon, and then they take that coupon, they go to the t-shirt booth, and then they can exchange it for a t-shirt. So this is how we had done so far. So this year, Seva Swarup and Priya Charan, they did something in the mobile app. So what happens is we also have the wristbands, right? Normally we used to have a wristband which is just for showing that you're registered. From last 3 years, we have an NFC tag based wristband. Basically, there is a QR code. So with every wristband is uniquely given to a particular person, because what we do is I have a team of 10 girls. So on the Thursday, we all sit and tag all these wristbands. Like, we have 4,000 bands, right? Each wristband is tagged to a particular person. We call it a sadhu. everybody is tagged to a sadhu, and then when they come on the Friday, we give it to them. So it's a personalized wristband. So when you scan anybody's wristband, you can see their name, whether they are Prabhupada disciple, and whether they've registered for Saturday, Sunday, and all that. So what Sevaswarup and Priyacharan did it is, when somebody does a service, we scan their wristband. The lead can scan the wristband, and then they can approve a T-shirt. So when they approve the T-shirt, then they go to the T-shirt booth, and the person at the T-shirt, they scan the wristband, and then they see, oh, you have a T-shirt approved, and then they can pick up a free T-shirt, and then they mark it as T-shirt fulfilled. So we have this whole thing automated. It was so good. And this whole T-shirt thing became easy, because earlier we're giving coupon. You give a coupon here, they give the coupon, and then they give the coupon back to me, and then I count the coupon, because I also need to keep track of how many T-shirts we give. And then I give the coupon back, and this was working for all these years, but it was not easy. It was cumbersome. And then also for the core group of volunteers, like who are doing service throughout the event, and also they are doing before the event, we give free jackets that I distribute. So I have like a super admin, whatever, so I approve jackets. So then they take that and then take it. So this whole thing was automated this time. It was so easy.
Sevaswarup is so good in coding that he did not even test it fully.
And luckily, Sevaswarup and Priyacharan escaped this time. I did not even find one bug. Normally I find a lot of bugs in Priyacharan's code or in all of them, but this time there was no bug. This feature worked seamlessly.
Yeah.
It was very. So we should thank Sevaswarup for his work.
Yes. Similarly, our Manjari Mandala Mataji,
She designed a
one of
T-shirt.
the T-shirts, and Anandakund Prabhu, he worked.
Anandakund Govindacharan, you worked with him quite a bit, right? That was very nice. He was working with him, and they all produced the T-shirts.
And then also my sister Gokulatarani, she designed our interface almost like 10 years ago.
And we still use it.
We still use this. Do you remember this Gokulatarani? This for keeping track of all the allocations for all the people in the rooms. So if you want to find out who is in what room, so this is a portal she made for us. And
Many years ago.
yeah,
Yes,
many.
I remember.
I don't think
Thanks for keeping this.
Yes,
At least this is.
we still use every year. We want to improve it, add things or fix some things, but then it works, so we continue.
Your devotion is so strong that it has lived for 10 years. We are not able to replace it, Gokulatarani.
Thank you.
So Rasamai Radha, you are saying something?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. So really nice to see you both. And thank you so much for sharing such wonderful we can imagine Sadhu Sang what was happening there. So I actually want to say when Govind Charan Prabhu was mentioning ki when Sadhu Sang was happening, when Rasika Mataji was taking care, she didn't sleep for days. So I still remember when we got chance to serve both of them, they stayed with us for 1 week. I still remember they used to wake up all night and they used to work. They used to do the sevas and everything. And they used to wake up morning and they used to go for the whole day for the seva of Gurudev. So it's really inspiring. And it's really, actually, I want to show something which Rasika Mataji gave me. And this is Sadhu Sang bottle. And I really love it. And I always keep this with me. And this is really very beautiful, and I really wanted to thank you for this.
Again, spotlighted you.
Rasamai, can you show the bottle Govind Charan saying?
Yes.
Yeah, this one is the bottle, Sadhu Sang.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Thank you, Rasamai.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other hands, Govind Charan.
Yeah. Aditya Prabhu Apurva.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for being here to both of you. And I just want to say one thing, which I just heard very recently in one of the lectures. So I just heard that love is nothing, but it is the purest form of responsibility or the purest form of action. So after hearing all these things from you all, like how you manage, you both are managing so many things all together for the pleasure of Gurudev. It brings so much of, you know, energy to us also. Maybe we all are not sitting together in the same room on the same bed, or maybe or on the same couch, but after hearing all this thing, we instantly feel very connected. It gives us like a very strong direction that where we have to go, where we are right now, in what forms we have to work on ourselves, and what is the real thing which will actually please Gurudev. Because sometimes we think we should do this, we should that, we should be doing that, but it takes us on a point where we really get to know that what is the most needful thing which we should be doing for Gurudev. Not being skeptical, not speculate things from our minds. How important it is to be practical during seva. So when you are sharing all these things, that how you all manage with the vegetable cutting seva, because loving Krishna or loving Gurudev is not just about chanting, and it all these things are definitely the most elementary thing. But love, either you may be cutting like okra, or you may be cutting some vegetables, but that is the most practical form with which we can love Gurudev.
Yeah.
So Mataji, thank you so much for sharing all these experiences, and it always brings immense joy to
Very
hear
true.
from you both.
Very true. No service is big or less, and for such an event, one small thing doesn't work, it breaks things. So everybody has to do their part. Only then we can put together a big event, right? Because everything is important. Every minor thing is important.
And the point you mentioned, Aditya, about being connected is very important. Um, because as you know, the devotees themselves come from almost like a 45 out of the 50 states of the US and another 20 different countries, the participants. And the volunteers are also similarly coming from different temples, different cultures, different subcultures, I mean, like that, and different gurus, like that, geographically, gender wise, everywhere there is diversity. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is that if we are all aligned and connected in our mission, all our diversity helps to increase the service and not create conflict. Because the one big problem in management is that as the like scale increases, it is harder to manage, correct? Whereas here, we actually have a very small core management team that hasn't increased in like even this like 15 years, like maybe like 5 6 of us, which work on most of the main management decisions throughout the year. But because there's only alignment, like whatever Gurudev wants, we are
We
all here to
serve.
serve that. Any questions we have, we just ask Gurudev and he makes a final call. So there's no like there's no feeling of either you are right or I am right, your way or my way. None of that devotees feel like that, because if they were feeling like that, they wouldn't have lasted this 15 years. The fact that we are together, as you said, connected for these many years, shows that there is that implicit bonding between the devotees. So that is the most important thing in spiritual life, because it is only on the basis of the strength of that relationship we are able to scale each year, because everybody is looking forward to doing more every year than doing less. So it's not about uh,
Yeah, I was thanking someone, one Prabhu who was in the kitchen. He was saying, Mataji, where will I get an opportunity to serve 4,000 devotees? I won't. So he said, so this is something that I should thank you. When I was thanking, he was thanking back, saying, I should thank because I'm not going to get the opportunity anywhere else. And this is such a great blessing for me. So people are thinking like that, and they want next year, you want to make 5,000, they're not scared. They want to come back.
So that's why again, it's a lesson for all of us, is we need to invest in relationships uh, that we cultivate. It's not just, like a transactional, that okay, just for service we come together and then we don't care about each other. Not like that, but we have to invest in relationships throughout the year, throughout our time. Then we can draw upon it when there is a need for a service. Just like, the military, they have the thing, and then whenever there's an emergency, the military is deployed. But throughout the year, they are preparing themselves for serving, like in contingency, like that. So that should be our mood, which is why, of the 7 principles of ISKCON, one of the principles that Srila Prabhupada says, the third principle is cultivating spiritual relationships with Krishna in the center. That is very important, and that's a point you are mentioning about being connected. And again, imagine if we are able to, I mean, now in this group we are at least trying to connect with Gurudeva's disciples here. But imagine if you are able to do that at scale, then the the beauty is that instead of the scale being a problem, the scale becomes actually easier, and you can leverage it. You can actually, it's supposed to make things easier. So like that, so
You can do more.
you can do more things like that. Yeah, Purva Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Mataji. Thank you so much for giving us your association, and personally hearing all the services that devotees are doing makes me feel so inspired that I think that my level is very low, and one day I have to work very hard to be able to serve devotees that efficiently, like all the devotees are doing at Sadhu Sanga. And I just wanted to ask, like, are there any remote services also in Sadhu Sangha? Like, if next year we want to serve in any capacity, like remotely, so do devotees do that? Or are there any opportunities like that?
Definitely.
Yes, actually, we are all remote because Orlando is like also 3 hours, even time
No,
difference from us, like
no,
that.
they are saying from India.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even in US, like we are 3 hours, like away from the 3 hours, meaning 3 hours time difference. The actual place is almost like it's a 8 hour flight journey for us. I'm saying all of us are remote. Even among, when I say all the devotees, even our own God family, even in US, everybody is just remote. So India is not
No, before
separate.
to the event.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not a separate. It's not so much difference. I'm saying it's just instead of 3 hours difference, you are like a 12-hour difference. But yes, anybody interested in serving, there are like, again, there are so many services need to be done. But I'll tell you one problem why we don't expand too much is because sometimes devotees are enthusiastic, but then they don't follow through. So because of that, what happens is
Delegate.
it is hard to delegate. In fact, I've been telling Rasika to delegate more and more. So all we need is people who can take even one thing. It can be the simplest thing that can take 5 minutes a day, but do it every day consistently, right? It can be like that. So in fact, that is how Rasika herself started her service with Gurudev. When Gurudev first visited us, he just asked for some flight tickets to be looked up. So he was just searching for a flight ticket, and Gurudev found something for like $100, and actually Rasika found something for $101, and Gurudev found something for $100, and he said, I bet you by $1, so let's go with this flight. Like that, he was challenging, and like that, so that's how he started. And then first year she just looked for flights, and then next year Gurudev interested more and said, actually, you can now, you can also book my flights next year. And then the next year he said, you can also organize the books so that I don't have to worry about sending the books to the respective places. And next year he said, now you know what my mood is and all how I do. You can just contact the local temples yourself, and you can do the itinerary. So like that, every year, that's how she actually became Gurudev's secretary, because she just did one thing properly, and that led to more things, and then that she did that properly, and then more things, and now she's like so overwhelmed that I've been actually we are, I mean literally we are looking for like a we are looking for like somebody who can even do it as a job, even if not as a service, even as a job, like instead of working for somebody somewhere 8 hours, if we have somebody that's trustworthy, that can even actually help her delegate most of the task, okay, I would say most of that, even one task, right? We are willing to do that because now actually I haven't even come to that part. Maybe we should do that in a separate meeting. Gurudev is now on a completely different level. He's like going on a rocket ship. Okay, so we are like,
It's so hard to catch up with him.
now I'll talk about it in a separate meeting. But right now, so many things are happening after Sadhu Sangha this year. The blessings we have got from Mahaprabhu and all the devotees being pleased. The number of services like become like 100 times now. So when we explain later, you'll know what that means. So there's so much need for devotees to just step up and just surrender and then do what is needed, and then everything will be taken care of. So like financially, it's not a problem. It's just that we need people with that commitment who can take up
Attention to
then
detail.
with a lot of attention to details. So that's what
The thing is, it's hard for me to trust somebody if I repeatedly have to correct them, because sometimes that happens. Then I might as well do it.
So that's why, because delegating also takes some time. If to take the time, you need to develop the trust and earn the trust, so that then Rasika doesn't have to cross check their work. Right now, sometimes we delegate, then he has to still cross check the work. That takes double the time now, because you have to train and then follow up and then fix the mistakes and all that. So if again, this is the personal what you call like a your own personal like sadhana, like on the strength of your sadhana, you can pray and increase and develop these qualities such that we can all become like a better instruments in the service of Gurudev. Then we can all do much more wonderful things like this. And again, as I said, Gurudev has a really big and bold plan that's coming up. So it's a question of us being ready to
Take it.
be part of it, and then like that. So yeah, thank you so much for offering that, Apurva. We can
I'll contact you, Apurva. Thank you so much. By the way, when you said you are doing very small work, everything helps. Like you putting this quote of Gurudev every day, it's very refreshing, inspiring. So everything helps. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, particularly today's quote I was mentioning, right? Like how it was talking about the surrender, and it was amazing selection. Thank you. Yes, Shivani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Mataji, and everyone. I want to share one thing about Sadhu Sanga. So it's, the time zone is different. So from India and like from where the festival is happening. So I was very like keen to watch live, like fully. So the kirtans, I was not ready to play in a very low sound. And since I live in the ground floor, so I was scared also that people might be disturbed and everything. Still, somehow I was like, okay, no, it's okay. So what I used to do is the kirtan was on full, and me and my sister we used to dance on the kirtans. Somehow, some of the neighbors came and they were like, "Are there people in your house who are jumping or something like that?" So then I realized that like this mission is not it is not something very small. People together working, they're not doing a job. They're literally giving everything which they have. That is why I wrote in my Vyaspuja offering this year to Gurudev that please help me so that I can save more money and one day I can go to Sadhu Sangha and be there. Just like in one lecture, like in one class, Govinda Caran Prabhuji mentioned that for us, Polish tour is like, just how for Muslim people it's like Makkah and Medina, traveling like that. So that thing only I was mentioning, and then I shared the links with my neighbors also. So they also started listening the kirtans, and that how it evolved, like changed the heart. So thank you.
Thank you, Shivani.
Thank you so much.
Shivani and Manjari started helping us with Sadhu Sangha towards the end. They started helping. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you all again for giving us the opportunity. And again, many of you do similar service in Kartik Parikrama, which is another wonderful offering of Gurudev to the devotee community. And we can all we're all connected. So you all understand the principles we are talking about, right? Building the relationships and helping each other and serving together in that connected way, and having one mission and one mood. So that's all Krishna consciousness is about, and then it can expand like unlimitedly. This is Prabhupada's teachings actually. So if you actually are, that's why Prabhupada said you can please me by how much you cooperate with each other. So that principle of cooperation, that is the only way in which we can build this, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. Because right now you can see, like again, um, ISKCON is a bigger organization, so we have organization challenges. Some of us hear about it time to time, but then like if we have that alignment, we can solve all those organization principles. All these principles, yes, Prabhupada says even there can be even differences among devotees, but those differences are transcendental because they are both in serving Krishna. So as long as the service is the focus and we are ready to put aside our personal differences, that is what matters. And Srila Gurudev himself is a like a perfect example of that, especially in the last 1 or 2 years. That is an instruction that he has been giving to me and Rasika, and more to Rasika, is to tolerate. Because as we work with multiple devotees and as we like work with like a larger projects, and we work with less time, sometimes things don't happen the way we want, and we only have so much control over so many things. So Gurudev, he says, he himself, he was saying how he himself tolerates his disciples, right? So by tolerating, that's how he can get things done, not by trying to fix everything. So he says, for example, it's like a Prabhupada gives his example of a cow that kicks when you milk her, but still you don't stop milking the cow because she kicks. You tolerate the kick and still milk the cow because you derive benefit from the milk. So like that, Gurudev says, look, I am tolerating my disciples because I have to keep the mission going for Prabhupada. So like that. We all have to grow in our own spiritual life. That's why Krishna is such a powerful and such an amazing teacher. Even though there may be like 10 of us in a room in the same situation, he knows exactly what each and every one of us need for our growth to the next level. We may all be in different levels of consciousness and surrender, but he knows exactly what we need to go to the next level, and he provides and creates that opportunity for us. So as long as we are having that mood to increase our service, then that's how we cooperate together, and that's how we can scale to all of Gurudev's desires. Yes, I think we should wrap up with that.
Was somebody raising their hand?
No, she was just giving a thumbs up.
Okay.
Radhika.
Okay. I think we should finish here, Govinda.
Yes.
10:50.
Panchajanya, concluding words.
Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji, for accepting that request and giving us so much nectar.
Panchajanya,
I was feeling.
Sorry to interrupt you. You know now why we don't accept that request, right? Because
Govinda cannot stop talking.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
also
problem.
I had like planned for so many things today. Everything is out of the window now. Right? So this is why it's so hard to refuse this association. Because yeah, because
Okay, let's
that's
finish
so
now. Let's not
always,
keep talking.
but
Govinda, we have to move
that's
on.
why I did not respond to your request earlier, because I know my shortcomings. Go ahead.
I know, I'm sorry, but yeah, it was clearly like you both were like rain, and we were like those chakor birds which Gurudev mentions, and we wanted to grab each and every drop of that nectar. So again, it's rare, but we want it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll just conclude. Vansakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, just one small request. Can you share the recording of this meeting on the group for those who couldn't join?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.